Hello and welcome back to the land of dreams and nightmares. As always, I'm your Dungeon Master Esper. We've got our fine five fellows with us once again. I'm eager to jump in. We've got some intense plot points and decision points mounting up. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves real quick?
As always, I'm Adam with the A name in the alphabet, who is playing the mostly noble, sometimes foibled knight errant Carderock Hawkness, who's a ninth level bard, second level paladin.
Hey guys, as always, I'm Dennis, and I am playing Lykar Talvantis, the level 10 Storm Sorcerer.
Hello, I'm Nick. I'm playing Arlen, the level 10 wizard.
I'm Vince. I'm playing Drake Fell, the Shadow Monk cleric. Man, I still gotta get used to that.
And I'm Warsor, and I'm playing Captain Noxiqual, the human Hexblade Warlock, level 11.
All right, welcome back, guys. So last session we concluded at the aptly named Devil's Den. Yes, that's right. Everything circled back to where this whole campaign began, with a flooded cavern network just north of the swamplands. And there is a keeper, a watchman, if you would like to call him such, Abagor, the barbed devil, who's been a contact NPC for a while now. Well, there's a lot that is up in the air. There is a couple major plot points. One is that there's going to be a grand council meeting, a high council taking place at the Silver Citadel not long from now, maybe in a week, I want to say, in which case the archmages and House Rodvin, essentially representing the humans of Drekengrim, and the clans of Norgal's Rock, and maybe some other players, and your party are expected there as well. You're going to be talking about the coming war against the Mer Queen and her forces, whom you've tangled with even recently. Foremost being Pox Marta, a lich who is encircled by strange moths and has been assaulting you all with psychic nightmares for a few days now. In terms of the Devil's Den itself, Warsor, you went there with one specific object in mind. Or I should say, Noxiqual, you brought your party there with one specific object in mind.
Yes, the boots of shadow walking. They are part of the set of 5 armor pieces that the masked one created when he was still mortal. So it is very important to my character to get these boots, and unfortunately they seem to have fallen into the hands of Nyarlathotep. Hope I said that right.
Well, his name is a strange one and confusing, much like he himself. Yes. If we can even call him he, maybe it would be a more appropriate term. He is one of the great old ones, the elder evils, the horrors from beyond space and time.
The good news is that this Devil's Den borders his realm, I believe.
This Devil's Den is certainly a juncture of planes. Here there is a portal to a realm from beyond. Is it the far realm? Is it a demi-plane created by Nyarlathotep? It's something. And there's also word that he is in league with Caius, the worm that walks, which you all might be inclined to believe. After all, strange green worm things have been crawling around and even penetrating through the teleportations. What would we call it? Maybe a teleportation circle, or not even a teleportation circle, maybe a planar gate. And then, and the other wing of Devil's Den, there is a different portal, which you all have not actually beheld yet, but supposedly it leads to Malbolgia of Bator, the Nine Hells. So, yes, you have been assembling the pieces of the Masked One, your patron, for some time. And you are down to 2 items, the Boots of Shadow Walking and a cuirass of sorts. The cuirass, you believe, is held at the temple at the end of the world, guarded by a powerful angel.
That I'm pretty sure of.
Yes, that has been tasked to you by your patron since the get-go. And and you've been making progress, and as things go along, the stakes have raised. Well, the Boots of Shadow Walking were under the purview of Balsam Cray, a horn devil who's actually a superior to Abagor, in this chain of command that leads up to Glaciah, the archdevil of Malbolgia. But no, Nyarlathotep, the Wanderer King, and all of his infinitely tricky and beyond tricky, he has a certain way with mobility.
Travel.
He is able to reach places and distances. He is the Wandering King, after all. So he seems to have stolen or through some means pilfered these boots from Balsam Cray. Abagor said that he would be speaking to his superiors and getting back with you in short order about a potential foray into Nyarlathotep's realm with hopes of reclaiming these boots.
Yep.
So you all are at Devil's Den. What do you guys think of that? Are you okay being guests of a devil and his followers? There's some other devils. There's some warlocks.
Drake will probably be staying on the ship. He is not a fan being surrounded by devils.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. All right. So Drake is making his way out of the actual hall of Abagor through some cavern tunnels back out into this sort of an underground lake where the ship is anchored.
Card is torn. He's a not fully anointed paladin. He hasn't sworn an oath. He only has the 2 levels, not the 3rd required for the paladin oath. Out of character, and in character, he kind of left when he went off to seek fame and fortune. He's a somewhat of a devotee of Morpheus, so dreams and prophecy and whatnot are more his ken than like rah undead punch. Although undead are more his focus in terms of like the thing he is against than demons, because undead are like directly opposed to the flow of the dreams that Morpheus and some weird dwarves told him about once. But yeah, I think he's gonna look at Drake for a moment, and he's gonna sort of wish like, yeah, that's the safe place. I probably want to go there, but also he did tell Nox he was coming along for this, so he's staying in there, and he's gonna go wherever it is the rest of them go, including Noxiqual.
All right. Carderock stays. He wants to keep an eye on his allies that are in the hall of devils and tieflings, and there's a goblin and there's a halfling. Arlen, Lykar.
Arlen would probably just be staying with the rest of the party as well. Arlen's not too really. He doesn't really mind like working with more of the darker sides of things. So
Very well.
Yeah, Lykar is going to stay.
Okay.
He's been here before.
So
Lykar has not been here before.
Oh, was it?
Character.
Oh, that was Agmore. Yeah. Okay, never mind.
well,
So-
you've heard a lot about it from Noxiqual.
yeah.
It's like you had been there. He described it to you so much.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I forgot about that.
Okay. All right. So we just have Drake that's back at the ship with the crew. So you all are going to be here for for another day.
Yeah.
We've got 6 days till the
Moot.
Grand High Council. We'll say the High Council at the Silver Citadel. You all are being treated as respected guests. Is anyone doing any shenanigans or tricksy things?
I keep an eye on Card. Literally one eye.
Arlen is like trying, I guess, his best to somehow enjoy the food that's being brought out.
Most of it's delectable, though there are some strange bits. Okay, so
Cakes
you
made
all
of
are,
honey, for instance.
yeah. So you all are gracious guests of the devils and the devil followers, we'll say. And after a day's time, Abigor reappears. Drake, you actually are the first one to see him as he is rowing, or wait, I should say being rowed across that underground lake by a cloaked figure in a boat, the likes of which you've never seen before. A reddish lantern swinging from the prow, just a small ferry. So he's ferried across the lake and, makes his way back to Noxiqual and the rest of the party who's there in the hall. Captain Noxiqual,
Yes,
I have returned.
I see that.
I have spoken with my superiors about the situation at hand regarding the boots
Yes.
and the elder horrors. Well, suffice to say that my mistress is not pleased, not in the least. She would like to speak with you.
I'm sure she would, but as we discussed last time, going to her realm would not be advisable for my long-term benefit.
Yes. Well, I tried to explain that, and I am letting you know that Glacia has offered to speak with you.
Mm-hmm.
Should you be so inclined, she will converse with you over the details of an incursion into the realm of Nyarlathotep, with the intent being to recover the boots of shadow walking.
I am amenable to this so long as it takes place on neutral ground.
It will take place in Malbolgia.
And what assurances do I have that she will let me leave Malbolgia of my own free will once our negotiations are complete?
He produces a scroll and he unrolls it and he hands it over to you. Here is a list of laws, potential infractions, crimes, and their punishments for all those who are entering into our mistress's realm, so that you would be aware of what you would want to avoid doing, you and any who accompany you. Otherwise, you are being offered an audience with her mistress.
Which I understand how rare a thing that is, and I do appreciate it. Do not think I take this decision lightly. Allow me to study this list for a time and get back with you when we are appropriately ready.
Take your time, study the details, consult with your allies, and let me know when you have made up your mind.
Thank you, Abigor. I assume it is fine for us to remain here while we deliberate.
You are my guests.
Excellent. And with that, Captain Noxiqual sits down. He goes somewhere where he can sit down. And maybe it's back to his ship, actually. And he's going to go and look over the rules. Because I know how devils do. They want to get you, just like a fae, they want to get you on a technicality.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you retire back to the Storm's Eye. I assume everyone goes.
I would like everyone to be present. Yes.
Okay, so you all are looking over this essentially list of laws, and there's everything in there from murder and assaulting a denizen of Malbolgia to other crimes such as impersonating a devil, impersonating a an archdevil, impersonating a duke, and like the higher the stakes, the higher the crimes. Many of the worst crimes will involve sounds like imprisonment and other hellish tortures that one would expect of such a realm.
Seems pretty implied, yeah.
Minor infractions like petty theft and insulting a superior, carry fines and lashings and scaldings and other sorts. So you're looking it over. It doesn't look radically different than what you would expect in like a highly organized and regulated city of humans. Though
Not that we have those in Drakengrim.
Yeah. It's certainly leaning more on the harsher and stricter side of things.
Lawful evil. I get it.
Yeah.
Okay. Do I see anything that appears to be entrapment, if you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Make a investigation check.
Sure. Investigation, got it. 15.
This seems to be a standard list of laws and regulations. It doesn't seem to be customized towards your party in any sort of way.
Yep. I'm going to have to ask Abigor, which I want other people's opinions first on whether they are willing even to entertain the idea of entering Glasia's realm for purposes which they don't even know about yet. So I will have to enlighten them.
What do the rest of you think of this?
So how do you all react when Captain Noxiqual calls you in and yeah.
Drake's torn because he doesn't want to do it because he feels it's wrong, but he will honor the promise that he made to Noxiqual to help him complete his task. That's his stance on it. Like if he didn't need to honor that promise, he would not be going if he had the option.
Drake, in that case, you may stay here in this realm. It is not necessary for you personally to accompany me. As a matter of fact, it may be wise for you not to come along so that you do not feel compelled to act in a certain way if any of your beliefs are challenged, shall we say.
Well, I thank you then, Captain. I will do my best to keep the ships safe.
Excellent. I think that's wise. Anyone else?
Well, Captain, I don't necessarily disagree with going to this plane, but I can't help thinking that it's some kind of trap.
I have never done any insult to Glacia personally. I think that there's much to be gained on her part if she can negotiate with us, but I do think that she will attempt to manipulate us to gain a foothold on us in such a way that we will be completely in her thrall, is how I think of it.
So as long as none of us fall for any of her games, we should be fine.
So long as you aren't like an old crewmate of mine who immediately took the first grab for power that was offered to him, not understanding even who his patron was.
Well, I can tell you that I won't do something like that. That seems like such an idiotic thing to do to me.
I'm glad to hear that, Arlen, my boy.
Oh my god. Rohan, excuse me.
Arlen is okay with going as long as you believe that it should be fine. He just was concerned about those specific things, like if she was trapping us or something of that nature.
That is what I'm going to ensure she is not doing before we do go there. If she entraps us, it will not be from the get-go. She will have to extract something from us while we are there. A mistake on our part, if you will, that will lead us to an infraction that they can use to justify keeping us there.
Now, Noxiqual, you are, I trust, more familiar with devils even than I.
I have
in writing. It is in writing that this is not going to reflect upon us unless we specifically entreat further.
I am first consulting you, and then I'm going to Abigor. We will formalize things. So, Lykar, I have not heard from you. You've always given me good
I
counsel.
think it definitely possesses. There's a risk of going there. It could always be a one-way trip, but if this is something that we need to do, then we should just do it and be done.
We're already going to be tangling with the Mer Queen by going to Glasia's realm. I doubt that is more dangerous than currently what we're heading towards. I think we need to gather what power we can for the coming conflict. And the boots of shadow walking will allow me and my patron to further bring his power against any threats that would come to the Stormbringers.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we should go and meet with her and have counsel.
Excellent. So we're agreed. Carderock, did you wish to stay behind or come with?
Well, I should very much wish to stay behind, but I do believe I shall follow you. Just don't get us all killed.
Are you sure that you can control any impulses that you may have?
I will not treat with devils.
Very tempting.
I shall not treat with devils. I know a thing or two.
Very well. Let me go speak with Abigor, and we will finalize any formalities that are necessary. So with that, Captain Noxiqual is going to go meet with Abigor. Yep. I assume that everyone except Drake will be coming with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to bring my skeleton with me?
I don't think Abigor is going to have a problem.
Yeah.
But we'll ask him.
Abigor receives you once more. Ah, yes, I see you have returned. So, what shall it be? Shall I be escorting you into my home plane?
Once we have finalized a couple small details, Abigor, I noticed that the list you gave me were very, shall we say, general infractions, general rules. What specific rules would shall we say, govern our specific case going into this realm?
Oh, what exactly do you mean?
What exactly I mean is, will we have any specific codes or rules that we are expected to follow while in Glasia's presence that we need to know right now before?
Well,
that carry penalties and such.
My mistress is a very wise and knowledgeable soul. She knows your capabilities, your party's capabilities and power. She is very aggravated She is very upset for a number of reasons, none of which are secret. Your party treated with a god and overrode the pact that she made with Robin.
I had
But
no
she is
part
no
in that.
fool. She knows the dangers of engaging in conflict with the Stormbringers. I would presume that you'll be going into Malbolgia by merit of your own self reliance.
So just so that we are speaking plainly, Abgor, because I heard a lot of words there, but not much substance. You are saying that there's no guarantees. She understands our reputation, but it is entirely on us to purport ourselves, and any consequences thereof are our own through the actions we take.
More or less. I am doing my best to vouch on behalf of both the Stormbringers and my mistress.
Indeed.
I am but a humble middleman in this situation.
Of course. You have no ability to go against or weigh any of this any more than your mistress tells you to.
I have not heard any formal declaration that she wishes to seize you or imprison you or harm you straight away. I'm not saying she wouldn't if it came down to it.
Is there any way that we can invoke any sort of devil? Is there any sort of devil invocation that we can say that we will have no aggression towards her, no aggression towards us, and we will go and we will leave, and that will be that? Is there any sort of precedent in devil law that you know of?
I suppose we could have, what would we call this? An official peaceful parley that would delay things. There is a certain process to acquire such such a sanction. But if you're not opposed to waiting a bit longer, I could certainly.
How much longer?
Oh well, I don't know. I could make an inquiry immediately.
Surely, such a thing could be expedited, since Glacia herself wishes this audience.
The man captains a pirate ship. Do you not understand the concept of being on a line? He wishes to secure one for us. I'm sure any previous entrants into such treaties have requested similar.
Well, you're putting a great deal of pressure upon me. I can look into this, but there is a certain cadence to the structure of Baator. And I know when it is wise to make a fuss and rattle chains and when it is not.
Yeah, so you're under a great deal of pressure already. A little bit more, you can handle it, I am sure. All that heat and all that fire and all that pressure down there, yes. This is but a pittance compared to that.
Let us say this, Abigor. Is there any sort of appeal or anything that we can do should a situation arise? Anything that we can invoke, a name or a, shall we say, legal counsel if we need it? I do not wish to resort to violence if this turns into a argument or any sort of, shall we say...
Yes, I believe what you are looking to acquire is an infernal advocate who is not a denizen of Malbolgia. A third party.
That would be preferable, yes.
You are aware of the currency of Baator?
I have some notion, yes.
Do you possess such currency?
Let's see what I have.
Do you possess such currency that is not you or your immediate company? Not that wouldn't be exceedingly valuable. I just... perhaps a few crewmen.
Few crewmen, huh? Drake's not here, right?
Drake is not there, so go for it. Even though
All right.
You are a
won't be able to
pirate
honor it.
captain. Certainly, you have a couple devils aboard your ship.
You do have an undead goblin.
I'm sure that for such a small meeting as this, I could come up with something. There are a few.
Very well. I will go make my inquiry, and I will return as expediently as I can. But don't expect miracles from me, I beg of you.
I only expect excellence, as you have always given, Abigor.
Very well. To the best of my knowledge, I was put at this post for the fact that the worms of Pius would skewer themselves if they tried to latch on to me. He just kind of mutters to himself and heads back to the lake to meet with the fiendish ferryman to take him back to the portal.
Well, I guess we're going to be waiting for a little bit longer, but that gives me time to prepare because sounds like I'm going to need some currency.
Hmm. Okay, so you all are okay with waiting some more time at the Devil's Den?
I think this is all very important to Noxiqual.
Okay. Another day passes. We have now 5 days to the High Council.
Yep.
Abigor returns. Give me one moment to note something.
Yep. I seem to recall we were going to go overland to the Silver Citadel, and from the Devil's Den, it's not that far in terms of days travel.
Yeah, I was just going to ask how long of a travel is it to the Silver Citadel?
It looks like it's about a similar. It's like on the map. It looks like it's like maybe only a half or so the distance between like Grenadoa and Summerfield, but due west and over like a road, right?
It would be farther than the distance from Grenadoa to Summerfield.
Okay.
Not extremely farther, but
Sorry,
you know,
yeah, I meant about that distance.
I feel like if we get down to 3 days, we're cutting it very close.
if you're just talking about marching overland through the wilds, expect at least 2 days, at least.
Oh, okay.
Maybe 3, maybe 4.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why I know that we're pressed for time, but at the same time, when are we going to be back here? This is kind of a big deal to Noxiqual.
So I got a question though.
Yeah.
Because I guess we're doing long rests. Are anybody being affected by those nightmares still?
That's a good question.
That is a very good question. Well, there is certainly hellish influence in this place. There's also far realm influence. But technically, you're still on the material plane, aka you're still in the realm of the Mer Queen.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
thank you for reminding me.
I was going to say.
Sorry, guys.
But, should we have made a roll already for the day that already passed?
Yes, you should. So let's do this one at a time. Wisdom saving throw.
Wait, does Arlen need to do it since he passed?
I mean, yes, everyone
Still needs to do it? Okay.
Yeah, let's do it one at a time and stay organized. Noxiqual.
That's only a 12.
12 isn't going to get it.
Nope.
Carderock.
It's a 16 on the die, plus this is a decent one. That's a not natural 20.
20?
Yeah.
You have succeeded.
Excellent.
Arlen.
For once.
The 17.
Not enough. And Lykar.
I got a 19.
19. You are close, but it is sadly not enough. The visage of Pox Marta milk pale, bloody tears encircled by strange moths with eyes for bodies, whispers madness and doom into your mind and threatens menacing you of the dire fate that is to befall you and all whom you love. Those of you who did not succeed, you suffer 6 points of psychic damage, and you are unable to find rest.
No, we still have the temporary hit points, right?
Temporary hit points that give you every short or long rest, yes.
Also, quick question: do we get the short rest though?
Short rest is not reliant on sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you just can't sleep this day, but you can still take short rests.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just checking for because I can still recover spell slots during short rests.
Okay. A couple of you have been up now for a few days.
Yep. Captain Noxiqual has not had much, if any, sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lykar too.
Lykar and
Arlen,
Carderock?
Arlen was able to get sleep, so this is the first time in a while.
Carderock seems to be away. Okay. Noxiqual, make a Constitution saving throw.
Yep.
You're getting extremely worn down here.
Does a 16 plus... Does a 19 make it?
Close, but not enough. You have a level of exhaustion.
Okay.
Lykar?
Constitution.
Constitution save against exhaustion.
Oh, that's a 17 plus 3.
All right.
So 20.
You have staved off the worst of the exhaustion.
Oh boy.
Noxiqual, you have just one level of exhaustion, or is this
Just
2
one.
for you now?
Nope, I haven't. I always made my con saves.
Okay, so
Yep.
just one. All right. Give me just one moment here.
That's fine.
If only I could see the caster, I could counterspell it.
Yeah, this is one of those spells that just, no.
Okay. I am creating a double NPC, and I'm nearly complete.
You're good. I feel like if I can't sleep, I might call on the masked one to inform him of what's about to go down.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He kind of needs to know. This involves him as much as it does me.
Okay.
And for all I know, he might forbid me to even go, but that's not really his style. Heck, he might encourage me to go. I don't know.
Following day, Abagor returns, and he has somebody with him this time. A larger devil, much larger, much taller, a gaunt thing with a bony countenance, with a long tail with a scorpion-like stinger at the end. This one as well seems to be wont of wearing jewelry and other embellishments, and it carries a hefty tome, a volume or grimoire bound in blackened leather under one arm. Particularly has like this one talisman kind of like swinging from his neck on this heavy chain. Captain Noxiqual, I present to you Sherlack's Sixbeard. And indeed, the creature does have a six sectioned beard, not a beard that you would think of a man or a dwarf, but rather these white, thick whisker things that are in these like spiky braids spiraling out from this massive jut of a bony chin.
Nosilith.
He extends his long, bony claws. Captain Noxiqual, I am pleased to meet you. I am Sherlax.
Sherlax. I'm Captain Noxiqual. And my iron, like the gloves of the masked one, like reach out and take his hand.
All right, you give him a nice strong grip with the onyx gauntlets.
Yeah.
He admires those for a moment and even like does a little trace with his claw along it as he retracts his own hand. I was well informed of your expertise. It seems all that I have heard is true, and surely more. I understand you are in need of representation in the sense of hellish law.
I simply need an advocate who would be willing to counsel us as we meet with an audience of Glissaya. Someone who is not
Excellent.
associated with her court.
Look no further. He taps onto the sigil swinging from the heavy chain. I am a highly experienced barrister of infernal law. You would have great wisdom in me being by your side. I have seen mortals forfeit their souls for mere slips of their tongue.
Exactly.
With me representing you, you will not befall such unfortunate eventualities. Any who tread within the realms below for a length of time are bound to stumble upon some unfortunate mishap.
And that is why I am willing to give you a payment to represent us.
Let us speak of that.
Yes.
He opens his tome.
Shall we discuss this?
Foul the air in this realm. I will not.
Yes.
I will not tarry here long.
Well,
The very air seems to bite at me.
if you are amenable, as soon as we arrange payment, we can go.
Yes, I would be most amenable to that.
Excellent. Let's
he shows
discuss
you
private payment. Yeah.
He shows you first a what would we call this?
Contract.
You might call it a certificate or a certification. Maybe we would call it. Appears to be on tanned skin, and it certifies that indeed Sherlax Sixbeard is an official barrister of Maladomini. That is the 7th layer of the 9 hells. Beelzebub is the archdevil there.
I'm misspelling that, but I'm just writing it down. If you
And
have
the contract, he rolls it out, and he actually reads the whole thing to you, like tracing with his claw as he goes. And when he gets to the payment, he is specifying 3 corrupted mortals, black of heart and soul.
Excellent. Any
Scrape the bottom of the barrel of your crew if you must.
Well, I think I have some that will fit that. And I'm already thinking of a couple, So, can I arrange for payment to be delivered? How will you take it?
They'll be on the ferry with us. This, you will have me retained until your what do we have this court meeting? What's the word, like audience with Glissaya is complete.
And complete, and we are back safely into the mortal realm, yes.
I seem to have overlooked that detail.
Just a minor detail.
He dips a claw into a pot of ink. So this will retain him for your entire length of the audience with Glissaya and journey back.
It was funny. I got screwed on a technicality in a game the other day, and that's what made me think of this. It was just a wording thing. It was
are we in agreement?
Yes, we are in agreement. Allow me to make the preparation. Yep.
Abagai seem to have not brought a quill. Oh, well.
Oh, Arlen.
Don't
will-
mind if I do.
Oh, okay.
Here you are.
I take the barb and will dab it. I'm so armored all over. I'm trying to think where he would prick himself. He finds a gap and he stabs himself and gets a little bit of blood, and then does the agreement.
All right. You sign it, and there is just a very faint ripple, as though a wash of infernal flame goes across the contract.
Mhm.
All right. Most excellent. He slides it into his tome. I will await you at the ferry.
I will be there with your payment shortly.
Thank you. Don't dally.
I don't have any intent.
Foul place this. All right. So they make their way to the ferry to await you.
Shall we deal with payment real quick?
Okay.
I'm just trying to find my list of. I don't have my crew list. Do you?
Are
have
you wanting to take a named crewman, or are you want to take unnamed NPCs?
So, unnamed NPCs is fine. I did have one name that kind of a little bit of a grudge I was holding against Lars, the cook.
Rat Skinner?
Yeah, just a little grudge. You remember why?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he talked back to me and he freaked out and was like,
yeah, he lost it on deck.
yeah, he completely just, maybe an example of him. But has he been good since then, I guess is my question, or has he been resentful? That's why I need to know if he's improved.
He has not improved.
Who is
to the best of your knowledge, he's been whispering behind your back.
Who is this guy again? Was
The
this
cook, Lars Rat Skinner.
Cook.
Oh, is that
So-
the dwarf? Or am I thinking?
He's not a dwarf. He is a human. He nearly mutinied. Of course, bear in mind this is after Noxiqual forced the crew into haunted waters and got most of them killed.
Whoa. I did what now? The reason why those waters were haunted was for two reasons. One, we got attacked by Dagon. Two, the Mer Queen decided to smack Dagon, out of her realm.
I would also like to add: is it really forcing if he's the captain and they're following him?
just saying what he said.
Absolutely, he was out of his mind, but he's been whispering behind my back. Yeah, I'm not going to take that. So I'm going to grab two of the bottom of the barrel, two people that I know are murderers, rapists, whatever. Just people that I don't like that we picked up, from probably Dusk Isle, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And then
All right.
I'm going to get Lars. I'm going to say, Lars, I need you to attend me.
I've almost got dinner ready. What do you want?
You'll be coming with me
What now?
right now.
But I've got a cauldron boiling.
Can
I will
Arlen,
make sure that it is tended to. I will not ask again, Lars. You're coming with me.
Very well, Captain. He just throws down a rag and follows you. And there's two other rotten scoundrels of Dusk Isle, and they go with you off the ship.
I turn to Drake and I say, take care of the ship and make sure to listen to Kobe where things are concerned with the ship. He knows it best.
I will.
All right. And then,
Before you step off,
Yeah.
there is a voice, Noxiqual, a very familiar voice.
is it my patron?
You turn and you see a face there lurking in the shadows.
Just who I was hoping to see.
Noxiqual, be very careful.
I understand. I'm taking the steps that I think are absolutely necessary to gain what you have bid me to gain.
For that I am most glad, but it would all be for naught if you are captured or slain in Malbolgia. I believe that Glacia wishes ill of your entire party. You've slighted her deeply and badly.
If I have slighted her, then all the more reason that we must put this aside. If we are to proceed, I will not have a devil holding a grudge to trip me at my moment when we would rise to glory.
I understand. I trust in you. Just be careful, Noxiqual.
Is there anything you can do to aid me in this?
I wish there was. I've treated with devils before. It can be done, I know it. But it must be done very precisely, and do not linger there. The longer you stay, the worse it will get.
Grant me the power to resist any temptations, and I will assuredly walk out of there.
He looks this way and that. I don't know what it is that I have that will help you where you are going.
Mhm.
Glacia will try to play upon your emotions. Don't let it get to you.
Emotions. I remember those. Seems like an age ago.
Put down the mask. You are nothing more. Do what must be done.
I understand.
Good luck to you. He fades away into the shadows.
I actually appreciate that.
Noxiqual,
Yeah.
Carderock, Arlen Skeleton, and Lykar make your way to the fiendish ferryman.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bowed-shaped boat with severe angles to it, a cloaked figure who is gaunt, and you can't even see his face, with a oar. You all get on, and the boat is barely even holding itself aloft. We are a bit overweighted. Are we sure this is necessary? Says the cloaked one.
Yes. Leave me. Everything is necessary on this boat.
Hold on tight. The oarsman takes his pole oar and begins paddling. You go through a side channel away from the underground lake. You go through a current that gets stronger and stronger, and you all are gripping. And there's a couple of times where the boat kind of pitches, and you almost feel like it's going to, turn over. It's all overweight and lopsided, and the bone devil's way too big for this thing.
This is the Baitor tunnel, I assume. Yeah.
That it is. It all leads to a chamber where the stones are refracting magentas, reds, burnt oranges, and there is a great whirlpool and a smell of brimstone. And the rower, increases his rowing and his pacing. He shouts, "Hold on tightly!" And you just go straight into the middle of the vortex here. And you have a tremendous sensation of being flung forward. Those of you that have teleported before, which might be all of you, it's a similar sensation to that. Just like every fiber of your being is suddenly just like shot ahead at supersonic speed, but for just an instant. And you hear screams and wails of torments of pain bypass you on all sides. These are the wails of the damned.
Is there fiddle music? Because I feel like
it's certainly playing Danse Macabre.
Yeah. That's all I wanted. You made my night, Esper.
You know, Noxiqual, this reminds me of an old legend. There was a boy sitting upon a tree stump, bested an archfiend for a reward of a golden fiddle. This does not sound quite so virtuosic as that.
No, I don't believe we're going to have any such tales to tell after this one.
You arrive in a different underground channel. The stone here looks different.
I really hope
here is different. The air is very stuffy, cloying, hot, and there's something into the way that it smells that just pricks at the back of your nostrils. The rower takes you along this channel until it ends up in just a pool at the end. You're in a room that has been worked by the hands of sentient beings of some kind. There are sconces like blackened metal claws coming out of the walls with infernal flames ever crackling in them. There is a great metal door that is bound with chains, and there is a guardian, just a big, like ogreish looking fellow with like a black leathered face. You can't even see his face at all, just some eye slits. There's spikes adorning it, and he has like chains across his great chest and his great pot belly, and he's holding this massive pole axe and just guarding this gate here.
It's been some time since I have been to Malbolgia. Not my favorite realm. Can't say that I would vacation here, but I've seen worse. It's a bit dry.
Noxiqual has lowered his mask so it just conceals all emotion, all his face, and everything. So he could be like a construct right now, just a man. Like he could be a suit of armor.
Mm-hmm. All right, Noxiqual and the other three proceed forward. Abigor is actually taking the lead. He speaks with the gatekeeper, who hauls open this massive door, and there's chains rattling. And you walk down a long and wide corridor, and there are several offshooting tunnels. And just the general sound of this area are chains rattling and people being tortured. And it's lit by these hellfire sconces, a very, very high vaulted ceiling. And you proceed through this corridor. Soon the sounds of hellish agony fade behind you. You take a turn and you come to another double door. And there are two chain devils flanking this one. Abigor speaks with them and they open it. You're led into a waiting room where you all have to wait for a bit before your audience with Glossiah. There are some servants here, and they look like people, but they've got these like black leather face mask things on, so you can't see their faces at all. And they've got like chains binding them. They've got manacles, and they just kind of drag themselves along, and they offer things on plates. And the fare here reminds you of Abigor's lair, though the more sinister bits are ever more sinister. Like there's like roasted tarantulas and centipedes, something that looks like jelly made of brains. But there's also like, wine and grapes and nice bread.
Noxiqual, with as rough a time he's had over the past however many days, is probably not going to partake. But he doesn't.
Try the centipedes; they're delectable.
Yeah. I appreciate the offer. I think I will save my appetite for after the audience.
Very well, suit yourself. It's not every day you get blood wine, not just for vampires.
What's going on?
Burns right down into the belly. Yes.
So Abigor keeps you company, as does the barrister here, Sherlock Sixbeard. And he is actually going through some different things with you all, the formalities. You should refer to Glossiah as Your Highness, and, certain formalities. He says,
Noxiqual, when it comes to anything important, consult with me. I shall relay it.
I appreciate that.
Feel free to speak with her your pleasantries, hellos and goodbyes and your highnesses and your...
But before agreeing to anything or before offering anything, use you.
You don't want to say something stupid.
You're absolutely right.
Yes.
There's a reason why barristers represent others. It's because he represents himself as a fool.
Thank you. Oh, you there.
And one of the chain devils just, kind of looks at him.
Can you please fulfill this?
He hands him a rolled up the contract. The chain devil opens it up, studies it for a few minutes,
I think I know what's going to
and then
happen.
just does this. It whips these chains, and I don't know how familiar you all are with chain devils,
Yeah.
but those of you that are knowledgeable in their lore, these are not the run-of-the-mill chain devils. So he binds with 3 separate chains, Rat Skinner and the other 2 crewmen, who immediately begin to panic. No, what? What is this? No, Captain! Captain! Ah!
I feel like I would turn and they see the grinning mask face of the masked one is the last thing they see.
Arlen definitely would probably watch the whole thing. He's actually kind of probably interested in like what's happening here.
Well, they're being hauled away.
Yeah, exactly. Noxiqual doesn't say a word. He looks straight at Rat Skinner, as he's being hauled away with that grin, that masked grin.
Now, Nox, I'll have you know, the military order and worshipful company that I never actually took the oath for, they do not take kindly to this, and were I a oath-sworn member of their ranks, I would
Noxiqual's head slowly
not be able to
turns
ignore this.
and looks at Carderock and just doesn't say anything, like if he wants to make something of
You
it.
might want to just skip over that talk around here.
Sherlock says that to you, Carderock.
Needless formalities, I assure you.
Speaking of holy orders and such, yes, it might cast a bad light upon you.
All right, so you all are in this like hellish waiting room for a while.
Uh-huh.
They're not expedient in any means, but this gives Sherlock the opportunity to consult with you all.
I picture Beetlejuice when he switches the numbers with the guy, and he's like 1,100,000.
Right.
Eventually, other individuals and groups are called. Some of them come back through the doors, and others don't. But finally, your turn comes, and there is a kind of goat-legged devil man with these great curling horns and really also curly hair and this like forked beard. His teeth jut out, and he's got like powder and rouge on, and these like great black eyelashes coming out. I am summoning the Stormbringers.
Stormbringers.
Would that be you all?
Aye.
You are a handsome lot. Come with me now.
Stormbringers are represented here by Sherlock Sixbeard. You will be accompanying us.
Sherlock, it is a pleasure to see you again.
Yes, the pleasure's all mine. Let's have at it.
So you proceed down yet another corridor, and you go to yet another like iron chained up double door with yet more chain devils guarding it. It is opened, and you go into the audience hall, the throne room of Glacia, the Lady of Malbolgia. There are a number of courtiers, devilish courtiers, that are in audience here, watching, witnessing, whispering, and gossiping amongst themselves, denizens of hell. There are a number of guards. You see Maragons, those brass devils that are like elite bodyguards and shock troops of the Nine Hells. You see more chain devils. You see a bone devil. You see there is an Arrhenius with this sort of like fallen angel, and she's in full like battle guard armor. She is guarding the exit. You see on a what would we call this? Like the bench It could be used in like legitimately like a courtroom. So on the one bench, there is seated a pit fiend. Then atop a throne that looks to be made of the skeletons of various types of beings, seated up there is Glaciah. If she weren't a devil, she would be intoxicatingly beautiful. Her very gaze seems to instill a seductive quality into your heart. She has copper-colored skin. She has two horns jutting out of her, like spiky horns jutting out of her forehead. She has a forked tongue. She has a barbed tail, like the spade tail of a devil, and two devilish leathery wings with hook things at the top. She's not overly fond in wearing a great deal of clothing, so she's just draped in like these like fine golden and platinum chain sort of things that essentially reveal her entire like perfect figure. So you all are announced by the goat devil man. Announcing the Stormbringers of Drakengrim in the mortal world, represented by Sherlock Sixbeard, Barrister of Maldomini. Preceding,
Oh, go ahead.
High Lady Mistress of Malbolgia, Glaciah. To her right hand, Viex the Judge. He gestures to the pit fiend. And he beckons you all forward. Sherlax goes just in front of you.
I will step forward and I will bow, do like a court bow with the hand, across kind of lower chest as I bow.
Your Highness.
Your Highness.
Sherlax bows as well. Carderock, Arlen, Lykar.
What do you guys do?
Arlen would probably walk up and give a bow as well and say any formalities needed to Glaciah.
How close are they?
20 feet away from you.
All right. Yeah. Card's going to step up and make a very, almost exaggerated, not disrespectfully so, but, very showy, courtly bow as a knight might to a queen.
Very well. Lykar?
Yeah, I'll go up and do my little obligatory bow.
Glaciah has some parchments, and she takes a moment to read through them. Noxiqual. I'm glad that you came here. I didn't think that you would. You're a brave man to come into this realm.
You're muted.
You're muted.
Thank you. Noxiqual listens, lets her finish speaking, and then he says, when I heard that you wished to see me, I wish to come and see you as well. I feel there is much to be gained by us having an open discussion rather than avoiding one another.
There are things to be regained. I would like to reclaim that which I lost. She licks a forked tongue, flips a paper over. In your service was a certain Robin. Forgive me if I mispronounce his last name. Vasivius?
I believe I know Robin who served me, yes.
Mm-hmm. And he was in my service, pact as well as boons were provided to him.
As you say.
And under your command, your party made their way into a temple, a divine temple of Morpheus the Dreamer, who overrode this pact, freeing him and freeing one imp who was in my service.
I was not present for that. I can only say that from what I was told, he took it upon himself to implore this god who I avoid and did not ever have treat with until later when he pulled me into his realm.
Now, not to interrupt too hard, but Card during this whole thing definitely has his hand rested, not like angrily, but just, in a sort of courtly manner on the hilt of his sword. It has his cloak drawn so that nobody can see either the holy symbol of Morpheus or the symbol of the masked one that are worked into the hilt. And it's keeping those as well hidden as possible.
Yes. I believe in this case, I turn to my lawyer, my barrister, and I say, I have no specific knowledge of what Robin's intentions were at that time. I cannot be held responsible for his actions when he chose to do so, and I was not present to stop him.
Sherlock listens to you. He consults with you a little bit,
Yeah.
and we'll get back to that some more.
Yeah.
Were you not his captain and superior?
He had asked to leave my crew. At that time, he was in the process of leaving my crew. I believe that was, in fact, his final act before he was no longer a member.
So you had no idea that bringing him to the Temple of Morpheus was going to get him off the hook.
Indeed.
You were completely ignorant, oblivious, and innocent of such a eventuality.
That eventuality. What's funny? No. I simply was thinking that I had no intention to let him off the hook. I figured that he would still be indebted to you, and by releasing him from my service, he would then be fully in your service.
So you were doing me a favor by taking him to this Temple of Morpheus. This would somehow get him out of your hands and fully into mine.
The Temple of Morpheus was merely a way to invoke the marriage that he requested of me.
Oh. Are you a priest of Morpheus?
No.
Then why would you need to go to a Temple of Morpheus to marry him?
His woman had a condition, shall we say, that was uniquely... Taking her to the temple was a way to cleanse her.
Cleanse, well.
If I may speak for a moment, Your Grace, these were all the affairs of mortals. They were conditions of a marriage among mortals per their customs. And Captain Noxiqual here merely officiated on the grounds of yet another request. As the captain of a ship, it is to do with the local laws of those in the material world.
She looks over to the Pit Fiend. Phyx, are you current on such tradition and custom in Drekengrim?
More or less, Your Highness. I can't say that marriages at this temple in Drekengrim have been common in the present age. Typically, such ceremonies are held by officials, local lords. I've even heard word that the priests of the Great Old Ones have been officiating such ceremonies in the current age. It's a bygone tradition, though some still do cling to it. Noxiqual, are you a godly man?
No.
What is your opinion of this Morpheus, the dreamer?
I have always been of the opinion that the gods are more trouble than they are worth. I have no dealings with them.
They're more trouble. Yes. They've been trouble to you.
I do not believe that my personal dealings with the gods are what are necessary to be enlightened here. But I will say this. The gods have never done me any kindnesses, and I've never done anything for them.
Your Highness, might I have a look at the contract that Robin made with you?
Very well. The goat devil takes it from her at her throne, delivers it over to Sherlax, who peruses through it.
Mhm.
Your Highness, the only mentioning of Noxiqual and his crew in here is that your directives to Robin would not be for him to betray his party or harm them otherwise. There was no other mentioning of their involvement in his pact. A clever pact, though, Your Highness.
Yes, clever. Well, look where clever has gotten us all. So you are of the opinion, Noxiqual, that you and your comrades are completely clear of all of this. I'm simply out one warlock and one imp, and that's just my own loss that I'll have to suffer on my own terms.
I believe my opinion is irrelevant here. It will neither bring back your warlock nor your imp. However, perhaps there are things to discuss which would be productive.
The imp is gone. That I will give you. Robin is not. Neither he, neither his bride. And I will see my harms redressed.
Perhaps now is a good time to discuss the reason why I have come before you, the entreaty that I did Abigor take to you.
Yes. I will summon Balson Cray. The goat devil clops off, and you hear him, out a ways, summoning Balson Cray! And a few minutes later, he returns, and there is a horned devil with him. So this type of devil is also a greater devil. It's not quite so high and mighty as a pit fiend, but it is still counted amongst the ranks of the greater devils. It has wings, a spiky head. It's a large size thing, and he is carrying a rather finely crafted trident of adamantine. And every once in a while, when the light catches it, there's just a certain arcane glimmer to it that you identify as an enchantment. You know it has a magic weapon by looking at it. He does not seem to be in any high spirits, and he walks in stone-faced, and he is standing not with you all, but aside you all, kind of on the same tier, on the same plane there. Yet another who is completely innocent and not responsible in the least for the harms that have been perpetrated against Malbolgia, myself. He only says, "Your Highness." I am willing to entertain a notion that would serve us all. It will serve Malbolgia forthwith. Foremost. She brings out another paper, and it's delivered over to your representative, and he's looking it over. Another parchment, a contract of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
Glaciya says to you, by terms of this contract, I will be charging Balson Cray and Noxiqual to recover 2 things, 2 targets. One being Robin of House Savinius
Mm-hmm.
of Ishkadam.
Mm-hmm.
The other being the Boots of Shadow Walking. They will be brought back to me. I will deal with you for the boots, after which Noxiqual. Robin will remain mine.
I lean over to my barrister so that we can have a little sidebar for a minute. And I say, I understand getting Robin for her, but why is this separate negotiation after bringing the boots back necessary?
Or the boots were her possession.
The possession of the one who lost them, should she not take it out on him, or he was responsible?
Yeah. Well, if he goes into that realm with you all, I would say that's taking it out on him. I wouldn't want to go in there.
Indeed. So,
It seems that he'll have a company, well, maybe a squad.
do you think that there's Do you think that there's any merit to bringing up the fact that he should be responsible for recovering the boots? I will assist him in that, and then Robin will be the payment for the boots. I don't understand why she gets paid and then I pay her again. You see what I'm saying?
Your Highness,
Yeah.
would it be possible for us to work out the details of the boots negotiation beforehand?
Yes.
We could put that into the contract and save ourselves the time doing it in the aftermath.
Perfect.
And what if the boots have been altered by Nyarlathotep? How can I gauge the value of that which I am not presently seeing?
We could put a clause in that if they have been altered, then we will negotiate at that time.
The horned devil, Balsan Cray, he looks and he says,
You all will be going with me. This is my company. Us against Nyarlathotep and perhaps Caius as well. This seems a suicide mission.
Glaciah says something to him in Infernal. Does anyone speak Infernal?
I would have cast tongues before I walked in here. I forgot to mention it, but that seems very
Okay.
I do speak Infernal.
Excellent. Okay, so you both understand it. And she says to him, basically to the effect of, you can also take, the Gray Company with you. He doesn't seem all too impressed by that. But it seems like there'll be other allies that would be going.
That's good. Okay.
Balsan Sherlax will do a bit of translating there for you.
Thank you.
It seems that he has a bone devil Norakar. Ah, I know him. The immediate superior of Abagor. 2 hellhounds and 5 Neperabo. I've never known how to pronounce them. Filthy things.
Sure.
So
Not sure what that is,
the contract
Either way.
the contract states that Captain Noxiqual and his crew will join with Balsan Cray, a bone devil, 2 hellhounds whose fire breath they're assuming can kill aberrant worms, and 5 of some other type of devil that apparently should be good at killing these worms. Some kind of lesser devil.
I mean, we're the heavy firepower. Lesser devils would give us more cover. So I appreciate the backup.
Apparently they have a cloud of vermin that swarms around them, and they're thinking that would counteract the worms that might attempt to swarm over your party.
Legit.
The targets are 2. One is Robin.
Yes.
One is the Boots of Shadow Walking. If the boots have been altered in any sort of way, then you need to bring them to Glasiah first. Otherwise, they'll be yours.
But that's written into the contract.
Yeah, assuming that the bartering goes down first.
Yes, that's what I want to barter. Like, basically, we will make sure that Robin is hers, so long as the boots end up being Captain Noxiqual's. And we'll do both tasks, assess everything, and then if everything is amenable, then Robin goes off to Baitor, and we go our separate way, if the boots are not altered. Specifically,
Sherlock asks you,
what of this Robin fellow?
Mhm.
Why is he prized?
I'm sorry, what?
What of this Robin fellow? Why is he prized?
Oh, you're freezing a little bit.
Yeah, you're the one freezing.
Yeah, you're lagging out.
you lagged out a little bit there. I think he's totally frozen.
Oh,
Oh, we just lost.
he's disappeared. Oh, he's back.
Welcome back.
It froze for a second. I guess my internet crapped out. So
Sherlock asks you, what about this Robin fellow? Like, what's special about him? Why is he valued so much?
Oh, well, I'll tell Sherlock that he had that he saw the contract. Robin was a warlock to Messiah. And then he
finagled his way out.
Yeah, he literally went to a god and asked for the god to intervene.
Yes, I understand all of that, but tell me of him. Does he wield magics of the same strength of your own?
No, he does not. I have held his life literally in my hand multiple times. But I will say this: he is a very tricky person. One would do well to not underestimate him. Luckily, I have, since coming here, prepared several means to deal with him so long as teleportation to quickly reach him is available.
Tricks and lesser magics. There must be more to him than this.
He is a bit of a fighter. He fights with a sword, I would say a rapier. But without an ally at his side, he would be hard-pressed.
Do you remember any interactions, especially noteworthy interactions between Devils and Robin, or Glasiah and Robin?
Yes, she kissed him on his cheek at one point and left a mark there that was removed, I believe, by the god. Now, if I may, though...
A burnt lips kissed onto his cheek.
Yes. I believe I have an elegant solution that will not involve us needing to fight him. Robin, while he is clever, is also very gullible. I believe that I can tell him either a lie or perhaps his nobility can be turned against him. He values his woman highly. Were her life to be threatened, I believe he would give his own.
Okay. I'm interested in the kiss.
Yeah, tell me, what do you want to know? I can only tell you that she got it. Glasiah could tell you more.
This is not common for Glasiah to put her mark upon a mortal. On anyone for that matter. I believe she has she has other designs for him. Other interests.
Well then, perhaps the woman is the way.
Is he a handsome fellow?
Yes.
Comely, enchanting.
I am not a judge of such things, but I would say yes.
This is important. What about you, Carderock? Are you the judge of such things?
Well,
come on, sing Robin's praises. You know you want to.
I would say of his character that The only predictable manner in which Robin would act at any given situation is unpredictability. He is a sort who is of a sort, and quite often out of sorts.
Is he's a human?
Or something like that.
He was a half elf.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So, or something like that.
Half elf. Which half is the elf? Maternal, paternal?
Truthfully, I do not know.
Yeah, you guys
have
never
the pleasure
learned.
of meeting the man's parents.
Yeah.
Hmm.
He was very not forthcoming about his past. Although I believe there was something to do with father or something. I don't recall.
Well, things that are hidden by powerful and wanted people often are valuable. There may be more to this Robin fellow than you knew.
I don't disagree.
Hmm. And the fact that Glasiah put her mark upon him, to me that speaks volumes. What
So
are you
what you're
willing to
saying
pay for the boots? More souls? Do you have others?
So you're saying that because he's more valuable, I should pay more for the boots? I'm trying to understand this.
Well, we just told her that we could work out the bartering for the boots
I see.
beforehand.
I see. Well, I believe that Messiah truly here would love satisfaction more than she would love payment of just mere souls. What if, as they say, revenge is a dish is best served, well, cold, but revenge is a dish that I think she would like to sup upon. Can I perhaps offer her not just Robin, but his love? And having the package of them, she could find ways to, shall we say, torture him in ways that are not just physical torture. Mental anguish is far more satisfactory to her kind, I believe.
I'm thinking about it more practically. What of the value of the soul of this wife of his? Is she also a magic wielding, powerful?
No, she is a common harlot, I believe, but she was marked by Yarlathotep when she was younger. I saw a vision sent to me of her doing a ritual with some of her friends, and the Wandering King took notice of her. He wants her. Denying him would certainly be of value. And perhaps he wants her for a reason that Glasiah might find value in as well.
Yes, well, for all we know, we're aiming to destroy Nyarlathotep.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if the girl could be used as a sort of leverage or bartering chip of value.
Oh, wait, I assumed you wouldn't barter with Nyarlathotep. I'm saying that whatever value she had to him could be valuable in and of itself.
Yeah, but we don't know if there is arcane power infusing her soul or other such.
Well,
We need something of value to barter for the boots of shadow walking up front.
Does the soul of an angel interest her at all, do you think? Have you heard of the name Victoriel?
I have not heard of Victoriel.
I believe he is a powerful angel who guards the temple at the end of the world.
I don't get into that corner of Drakengrim much, it seems.
Understandable since an angel guards
Do you
it.
know which rank of angel this is?
Let me consult my notes. I believe he was described to me as an archangel, but I don't know if that was
Okay,
just...
well, if you say archangel, his bony bridge will brow will perk up.
You have it in you to apprehend an archangel.
I mean, I intend to slay one. I assume the essence, the soul of one could be trapped if Glissaya has a receptacle that can hold it.
He turns back to Glissaya.
Your Highness, Captain Noxiqual is willing to offer you an archangel, alive or soul-bound.
Noxiqual, I've heard that you are an audacious, bold man, and your party has been victorious in circumstances that were believed to have been impossible. So I will not laugh in your face when you say that you wish to apprehend an archangel. If this can be done, I will trade you the boots.
All I require is a proper receptacle to hold the soul or to capture him when he is killed or dispersed in this mortal plane of Drakengrim.
I will furnish you with a gem or phylactery if that suits your needs.
Perfect.
So she will write up or have written into the contract some additional details. One being that you're going to be furnished with this, amulet, which is her property. And should you lose it, sell it, or whatever, you will pay the repercussions for that.
It should be coming back to her in the end. I get it.
Yep. And if you can furnish her with the archangel or the archangel's soul trapped in the gem, that will be sufficient payment for the boots of shadow walking.
I think that's amenable, considering that I plan to kill him anyways. So might as well, turn one problem into a solution for another problem, use two problems to solve each
You
other.
are a resourceful man. So let's make sure we're all on the same page. Sherlax is reviewing the details with you. And the details are basically this. You all receive a gem amulet now. You then soul trap the angel or use some other trick to capture an archangel. And you deliver that to Glissaya. You are then partied up with Balsan Cray, the Horn Devil, and his crew, which is a Bone Devil, 2 Hellhounds, and 5 Neparabos. Your motley crew then goes into Nyarlathotep's realm, and whatever your tactics are, you get the boots of shadow walking from Nyarlathotep.
Okay.
Whatever you do there is kind of up to your own strategizing.
Yeah.
Do you kill Nyarlathotep? Do you fight Nyarlathotep and Caius? Is that even possible? That's crazy.
It's totally crazy.
Do you use some trick and just thieving magpie somehow?
We'll have to find out.
And you also bring her Robin.
Yep. The Robin thing is just that is giving her something. I feel like that is a good opening move, if you know what I mean. But I'm not going to do it until the Boots of Shadow Walking time for that. Because if we go and get the Boots of Shadow Walking and we fail, Robin can live the rest of his days happy. That's between her and Robin.
So it's fine, according to the terms of the contract, that you do it in that order.
Okay.
It doesn't specify which order you bring in the target Robin or the boots.
But she needs the
angel
soul before the boots.
If you wish to pay for the boots up front, yes.
Is there any situation where paying for them after is included in the contract? I just want to be clear.
The contract states that if you have not paid for her for the boots with that angel, with the archangel, then they're still her possession.
Understood. All right. Then there's honestly at this point, I think I have my plan laid out. As far as the Devil's agreements all go, now we just need to deal with the Silver Citadel a little bit so that we can fulfill our obligation to them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's time for the Temple at the End of the World, ideally, by that point. I mean, obviously, there's a lot in between there that's going to
Uh-huh.
happen. But Silver Citadel, Temple at the End of the World, back to the Devil's Den, and then tying things up with Robin and the Boots. And everyone else's stuff on the way, probably.
Yeah, easy peasy.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll be done by next session.
All right. The contract is complete.
Pact is sealed.
Glossiah takes a quill, which appears to be made of some sort of dark, hellish metal. Signs her name. It's then given to you, Noxiqual, to sign yours.
Noxiqual will make sure he reads the contract to make sure it, says everything, and then he signs.
Okay. Shorlax signs it as a witness, as does Viex, the judge, the pit fiend.
Perfect.
As does Balson Cray, the horn devil.
And I assume I get a copy of it. Yes.
They will furnish you with a copy of this. Yes.
Perfect. I wrap it up because the masked one may want to know what I signed in exact words. Especially considering this will get him kind of what he wants. He needs to know what his servant is agreeing to.
Yeah.
All right.
I have hopes and expectations riding upon you, Noxiqual.
I hear that a lot these days.
Let's see if your larger-than-life reputation is all that I have heard it to be.
I'm sure you have been disappointed by many men in your time. I will not be one of them.
A bold claim. Very well then, bold fellow, you and your crew go forth. May the fires of hell flow through your veins.
Be well.
Your Highness. Sherlax gives her a final bow.
Noxiqual does the same as he, waits for everyone to do so that they can all turn and leave at once.
You all are escorted through the halls of Malbolgia, back to the ferryman, back into the cavern in the material plane.
And we finally meet up with Drake. Sorry, buddy. I know that was...
No, I've been coughing on and off. It's usually when I'm the camera turned off. So that actually was really nice not to have to do a lot of this session.
So long as you didn't feel left out, that's all I'm...
No, it's all good. I actually was listening in. I'm trying to figure out, can Drake use this to his advantage and warn Robin somehow? Because while they have that rivalry, he doesn't hate him.
That would be a hell of an interesting twist, I would say.
I would believe it. Yeah,
Robin's only ally in all of this
is the rival.
It's the rival. And I think I know how Drake can do it. It's just, can I do it?
I look forward to the intrigue that will be there.
I do have a quick question though. So as we're returning to the ship, I'm guessing at this point.
Yeah, do any of you want to do anything? Yeah.
Yeah, Drake, I don't know if this is the first time or not, but you would see the skeleton walking next to Arlen at this point.
Drake would look at the skeleton and just shake his head and just not get near it.
Okay.
He's only putting up with it because you remember the crew. Same with the goblin down in the hall. Yeah.
Drake, if you are okay with it, Yorn is with you, and he's been continuing the training.
Yeah,
you remember he was cleansed of the mark that he secretly had been bearing.
Yeah, Drake would keep helping him and teaching him.
Excellent. So Yorn's with Drake. He has taken on an apprentice master relationship with Drake Fell, the monk and priest. He is certainly your inferior by many degrees of inferiority, but he's got spirit, and slowly but surely he is learning from you.
Yeah, Drake will constantly be working with him and getting him better and better and better at whatever he's wanting.
Yeah, at the very least, he's in better physical shape now. Like before, he was, just what you would imagine a kind of middle-aged guy. He's probably been drinking his whole life excessively, maybe not eating the best, but not a sedentary fellow. So it all wasn't, there was no hope. It wasn't that there was no hope, but he is starting to, get a little bit leaner, a little bit sharper, and slowly but surely learning some basic techniques of, in the very least, like martial arts and meditation.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call him a full-blown level 1 monk.
That I would figure would take a while.
He is still quite the grasshopper. But if you're patient,
yeah, Drake would have
spirit.
Drake would have no wax on, wax off. Drake would have no problem teaching him. He agreed that he would help him, and he'll keep doing that.
All right, you're a good man. Very well. So Abigor was there. Everything's kind of known. So this plan has been set into motion. Do we want to pursue this now, or do we want to turn our sights towards the Silver Citadel?
All right, excellent question. I think the Silver Citadel is more time pressing.
Yeah.
It feels to me like there was no time specified in our contract, so long as all the terms are fulfilled.
Mhm.
As long as they are taken care of, then time is not the issue.
Yeah. So that's true. There was no specified time frame in the contract, though there was a pressure for this to be done without too much delay from Balsam Cray. Because right now, he is not being seen in a very good light in Malbolgia. And he is like this close to being demoted, which is, imagine how much regular people hate being knocked down in rank in the real world. For a devil, it's like, 10 times as bad.
Yeah, it's like chopping off his arm, yeah.
Well, yeah, you're actually transformed, right, into a lower order of devil.
Yes.
Sometimes, yeah. Not all the time. I will say that I do want to take care of this too. It's very pressing on me. I would love to get all my pieces assembled for the masked one. I think honestly, getting Robin is going to be the easiest part of that. No offense to Robin, but there's just so many ways that we could take him, and he would not see it coming. As far as I know.
Well, I will say nothing about that, and we'll let that unfold as it goes.
Just a quick question: did we inform Drake on everything?
Here's a question. No, so here's a question, Esper. Did the contract, the one that I have, specify that I am the one responsible for fulfilling it, or does it the Stormbringers altogether?
It actually specified you.
Perfect. I didn't want to specify the Stormbringers because that needlessly entangles them in this. And this way I don't have them.
It just specified you.
That makes it all the better for what,
had it specified
what I
the
want to
others,
do.
That would have been stated, and they would have needed to have signed as well.
Correct. All right.
Actually, Card is gonna go over to Noxiqual and say, Nox, there's a fair bit of fine bargaining you did in there.
I appreciate that.
For better or worse, this group has seen together. You did well in there, and I am sure myself and all of us are grateful for the fact that, should this all go south, I believe it's only you paying the price, is it not?
That is correct. However, I would like to ask you a question. I know that you and Robin joined my crew together. You had some history together. You had fought and traveled together. Do you have any misgivings about this deal?
When I first met the man, he was not more than a hanger-on. I will admit I grew to be somewhat fond of him before we joined the Stormbringers. It would be a travesty to lose him from this world.
I do not believe Glasiah will kill him. I believe that she has other plans for him.
He signed his fate when he entreated with her in the first place.
And then when he broke his agreement,
Aye.
either of those
Morpheus
could have been avoided.
Should Morpheus watch over him, then he shall be protected, I am sure. And if not, he made his bed, may as well lie in it.
He's a clever man. I'm sure he will find a way to turn the situation to his advantage.
Indeed, I'm sure as well.
Not really my problem.
Or Robin's just gonna get like a letter in the night from Drake. Watch out for Nox.
And then there'll be a knock on your door. Huh? Nox? Nox?
Hurry, Farad, we must leave. Dude, don't ask questions. We have to go now.
It'd be more simple. It'd be like
Stupid bird.
because Drake it would be very crappy handwriting. It'd be like, run, Captain, kill, or it'd be like,
Stupid bird.
stupid, run, stupid bird, devil coming,
I will say,
or no, like dues.
rarely have I met one so easily impressed by my own deeds. After all, when I slew the Sphinx single-handedly, he was irrevocably bound to my magnanimous charisma, or so I thought.
Indeed. So you have no problem with this, I assume. He made his bed, as you said.
Yes, no problem worth fighting over.
All right. Arlen, do you have any problems with this?
No. If he signed a deal with the devil, then as
broke.
Carderock said, or broke a deal with the devil, as Carderock said, so Arlen's sort of in agreement with Card. Like he kind of did it to himself. Like Arlen doesn't agree with sort of doing these kinds of dealings, so
Yeah.
he's fine with it.
The man did steal the one prized possession of one who had lost everything in this world.
What a mom.
That cannot go unpunished.
Are you talking about the bean?
Yes.
You know, honestly, like Glasiah is gonna be like, it was all because of the bean. They sold him out because of the
And Rantha is going to say it's all because of the bean, because this campaign really has all just been the story of this bean.
Ever since Robin has stolen it, everything has been about this damn bean.
It's true. It's true.
Didn't realize.
Yeah, Robin stole it. Robin knew. Robin knew.
A hell of a bean.
Robin knew how important the bean was.
That bean holds the soul of Amarantha. That's her phylactery.
It's her phylactery.
No. We're the Brotherhood of the Bean.
All right.
I suggest we turn our sights towards the Silver Citadel.
Yes, I just wanted to ask Lykar if he's okay with this, and then I wanted to say one last thing.
Are we telling Drake about this?
That's my last thing. I want to be, Lykar, are you fine with this? I feel I know your answer, but I want to hear it from your own lips.
He's got to come in one way or another.
Excellent. Then in that case, I suggest we all make a pact here to not enlighten Drake to this. My concern is the last time that he took it upon himself was in the mines of Mirgraf. He went against the party because he believed he knew better. And I believe that this would be another situation similar to that. Arlen, you were not there for that, but there was a situation where he destroyed a undead creature that possessed ancient knowledge that could have been valuable to us. Magic knowledge.
Arlen will respond, say, if you don't mind me asking, is he someone that can be trusted if he's betrayed you before?
Drake is bound by his word. He has sworn to help me recover the items of my patron.
If he's bound by his word, then why did he betray you and go against your commands?
That was not in violation of his oath to help me acquire the items. However, it was something that displeased me, and we had a discussion about it afterwards. So I think the best thing to do would be not to give him any sort of conflict. Were he not to be involved in this pact, then he needs not worry about it. If he finds out about it, we will deal with it then. But it is simple enough for us not to speak of it. Yes?
Is it simple?
I don't know.
I mean,
Is it simple?
Drake, you didn't go into Malbolgia, but I mean, you're obviously aware that they all just went into Malbolgia to have an audience with Glossia.
Drake will wonder what happened, but if they don't tell him everything, he won't push it.
I was going to say, we definitely will tell you something. I'm just not going to tell you that the part about Robin. So basically, what I would tell you is I've come to an arrangement with Glossia that we will give her the essence of the Archangel Victorial in exchange for the boots of Shadow Stepping. And that is her price for helping us recover the boots.
Well, I would not like to slay angels of gods. If that is what is required to fulfill my oath to you, then I shall help you.
I think that it will be a time before we are ready to do it, but not too much time. So prepare yourself for such an endeavor.
I will do what I can.
For the Silver Citadel, then, we are pressed for time already. We have maybe 4 days, and only there will we be able to rest and recover ourselves for the times ahead. At least there is one of the places that we know we can do so.
Yeah, you.
I have been noticing that many have been showing signs of great unrest.
I've kind of hit my second wind, but at the same time, I'm about to kill someone if they play any tricks on me, send any whores to my room, anything like that. I think I might just cut off their head.
Well, you do not need to fear that from me.
Indeed. All right.
Okay. The Devil's Pact has been made.
Yes.
For better or for worse, and you now are going to be moving overland. You leave your ship at Devil's Den?
Yeah, will Abigor guarantee it's safe?
Well, I will do what I can. It will be under the watchful eye of my guards and your own crewmen.
Yeah, I think this
I don't have an army here or a...
Well, he has his Legion Devils.
Yeah, well, I hardly say that's an army, but I will do what is within my power to keep it under watch and guard.
This place is guarded against Amarantha's direct intervening?
No. No, it is not. But if it is any ease to your mind, we're generally not the target of about anything.
Yeah. I believe that she would not want
halflings that came through here a number of years ago.
Yeah.
But they were more exploring adventurers as opposed to the crusaders trying to slay me.
Yes, I believe that Amarantha has no reason to target this place if we are not here. So
let us assume that is true and hope for the best.
All right. Kobe, I want to leave instructions with you that we will send me, like every day, like we have our sending stone, obviously. Stay in communication, give me an update of any important happenings. If for some reason...
Very well, Captain. I'll send you every day. Give you an update.
Excellent. If something happens and you are required to leave the Devil's Den because it is no longer safe here, let us say you will return to Sumnerfield, I guess, is the town, city down below.
Sumnerfield? Very well. Seems a fortified place, stronger than any.
That's exactly my thoughts.
Don't worry, Captain. I'll keep an eye on the Storm's Eye. Two, in fact.
Good. Keep it that way. I look
All right,
forward
Captain.
to seeing you again. All right. So,
watch your back. Don't get wizarded into a frog up there.
I know all too well the power of wizards, and I will not play games with them.
Boy. So you're taking this trek by foot. Are you going to cut? Are you going to cut across the wilds, or are you going to go and make your way down to? Well, you all tell me. You're seeing the map here.
I see like two potential ways. Are those
This is river here. This is road.
So the thick black line is river?
Yes.
Okay. We could circle north of the lake, yes?
Yep. So if you go through here, it's going to be through a plains, like a cold plains.
Mm-hmm.
North of the lake, there are some hills.
Yep. And then over the hills, and then we can connect with that road over there.
Yep. Then you're getting into the foothills and the mountains themselves.
That is the most direct route. But what is Smotglav? Is that like an ancient city that's ruined or something?
It is a ruin. It was not a city, though. If you would
What was
like,
it?
you can make a history. You can make a history check.
Sure. Anyone else
Okay.
want to join me?
Yeah, I do.
Arlen would be interested.
Yeah, Card will roll that as well. He may have heard a clue about it.
I have
Awesome sauce. I got a 5.
You would never even noticed that on the map before.
I got an 18.
We have a map?
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, history is intelligence, right? Oh, that's
Yes.
a lot more. Hold on. That's a 23.
Card's on a 19.
I mean, that makes sense, Drake, that you would not want that, because what do you know about Drecking Grim?
Excuse me.
Yep.
Arlen, you know quite a few things. I won't go into immense detail, but if you have other questions later about it, just let me know and I'll fill you in. It is a ruin. At one point in time, it was a druidic shrine, a primal shrine. There was a druid order there that had both shamanic magic as well as some druidic warriors. It has long since fallen unto ruin. It was sacked during the original war against the Mer Queen, the War of Three Dooms.
Gotcha.
All right. So, sounds to me like there's going to be a lot more danger going through the hills between the Druidic ruins and the lake and such. I'm not opposed to that, especially since it seems to cut a lot of travel time. Because, Esper, if you go a little bit lower on the map, we'd have to hit, like, where would we even cross that river? Like, would we cross the river?
You would sail to Crocus League and then take the road if you wanted to go about it that way.
That would be a lot longer, though.
It would
Yeah.
be, but we'd sail there almost like it would take like less than a day to get there. So then we'd run the road. Yeah, the road is the safe route. I'm for the more dangerous, more expedient route. What do you guys think?
Sure.
Okay. It sounds like it's decided. You'll be heading westward. You'll skirt around the lake, go into the hills and to the Silver Citadel.
Yep, we'll connect
Yes.
the road. Yep.
Okay.
Sounds good.
First, there is a visitation in the Nightmare Realm.
Of course.
Make wisdom saving throws. We'll start with Noxiqual.
Come on. Nope.
Okay. Carderock.
19.
It is close, but it is not enough. Lykar.
God, I got another 19 on the die.
Yeah, it's rough.
Excellent. You rest well this night. Arlen.
This is wisdom.
Yes.
I don't. 16.
No.
Oh, I thought I failed the last time with a 19.
Oh, I thought you said a natural 19.
Yeah, I got a 19 on the die.
Okay, and you have
add
like
anything?
0 wisdom?
Yeah, I have 10 wisdom.
Okay. I was totally missing that part.
No,
So-
that's okay.
So, Lykar, Carderock, and Noxiqual. And then Arlen, I'm sorry,
I got a 16.
you got 16. So all 4 of you.
Oof.
will soon shed the mortal coil and join the ranks of the Muraqueen.
You each suffer 11 points of psychic damage.
Did we get those temporary hit points
Temporary
back?
hit points
Okay.
soak that up. So we're not actually taking real damage, thankfully, but the not being able to rest thing is damage in and of itself. Of a sort.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I need
Yeah,
to
I haven't
make a
recovered
note.
any hit dice for like 6 days now.
Yeah, I need to make a note here. I'm going to call this note number of days since this character has slept.
Slept.
Number
I'm
of
pretty
days
sure it's
without
been-
sleep.
I feel like it's been 6 for Noxiqual, maybe even a whole week.
Can people even go that long without sleep?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I
But-
think Arlen's only been awake for 2 days at this point.
I will say I have personally been awake that long without sleep.
Ugh.
I don't envy you, friend.
That was one time. I was much younger, and don't do it, guys.
I think the longest I've been awake
Jesus.
for without sleep was like 48 or 52 hours or something like that.
Thankfully,
28 hours from me.
I was
All
not
right. Well,
driving.
you all are epic, legendary adventurers and capable of withstanding all sorts of tremendous challenges. No one is indestructible. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
And Nox,
absolutely.
it's been 6 days for you.
I guess that feels about right.
Okay. And Lykar, how long has it been for you?
I would guess it would be the same since the day after the battle of in the
Did you
dream
ever-
battle.
Did you ever get any sleep on any of the nights?
No, I fail every time.
Come on.
Yeah, same here.
Now, Arlen.
Yeah, I actually don't think it was 2 because we did travel to the Devil's Den. I think it's like 4 because I got sleep when we had docked, and then when we traveled,
Yeah, that sounds right.
yeah,
Carderock?
about 4.
Also, for him, this is just the first.
Because
this
you
is only the
succeeded
point.
last
He
time.
actually succeeded the last. Yeah,
Yep.
but he
Okay.
definitely failed this one. So it's 1, but it's not 2. Or I mean, it's 1 day as opposed to 0.
Right. Constitution saving throws versus exhaustion. Noxiqual.
Yes,
Don't you eventually die if you get
Yes.
exhaustion?
correct, but that's exhaustion.
Level.
All right, so Constitution saving throw does a 16 do it?
Not enough.
Okay.
You actually have 2 levels of
Levels of
exhaustion.
exhaustion.
now.
I got it.
Lykar?
My speed is high.
I got a 7.
You now have a level of exhaustion, Lykar.
Okay. Lykar is getting
you're-
crabby.
Yeah, your ability checks, basically like your skills, are at disadvantage.
Is that really any different than he already is?
No, he's usually pretty happy.
And,
I can't tell.
and Noxiqual, your speed is at half.
Yep, I got all the stuff.
You're
right.
starting to drag. Arlen,
A Constitution?
yes.
Yeah, it's my second highest skill or ability modifier. 18.
Close, but not enough. You have a level of exhaustion.
Feels bad.
And Carderock.
All right. So since I don't foresee there being combat in this session, actually, I'm gonna go ahead and spend that inspiration so that I can get advantage on this and
I
hopefully.
mean, I would spend it on that, honestly, too, even if it was combat.
Uh-huh. Yep. What you can do is just do your regular roll, and then if you don't like it, then spend your inspiration.
Oh, that's super nice of you.
Fair enough. All right.
Well, you just choose to spend it to get advantage on something, so you can do the first roll by itself first.
Normally, you have to spend it before advantage. Before
Oh,
you-
really?
yeah.
Oh, well, in that case, I take that back.
I'm just saying that's just how it's always been.
How did I not know that?
I thought you did. That's why.
I guess
Shush, you're ruining it.
I guess I actually, as a player, have never had inspiration to spend.
Damn. What does that say?
Well,
about-
anyway,
I had it once.
I don't get to play as a player very often. Okay,
That's true.
so go ahead and roll with advantage then, Carderock.
yes. So Card is fine staying up 24/7 because he got a 20 and a 3, so a 24 and a 7.
Ha.
So he'll advantage. That's yeah.
Excellent.
Definitely.
Okay, so you do not have any exhaustion, Carderock, and
nor
neither
do
does
we
Drake,
now have
who's not sleeping because
He was
he's an
just
elf.
meditating through all this.
Yeah, you do your elf trance.
Yeah.
Trekking
Okay.
overland. Yep.
All right, you are trekking. The first day of travel, you're going across a plains. It's a kind of a rugged grassland, kind of a rugged and rocky grassland.
trekking across.
Oh, a quick thing,
Yeah.
just in case. I'll just say that I'm always casting mage armor, like whenever the new day starts. Just
Okay.
because that's something that's very good.
Yeah, that's fine. Just spend your first level spell slot,
Yeah.
and you'll just have that on and ready to go in case.
While we're while they're traveling, Drake's going to be working with his bird, training it.
Okay. What sort of training are you giving the bird?
I guess mostly hunting.
Okay.
Training it to hunt because this is a nice wide open area, so you can keep an eye on it.
Okay. So you're training it to hunt whatever you might come across, and hares and squirrels and voles and whatever sorts of things. Okay. You then go to skirt around the lake. Well, you'll make camp, and the nightmare returns. So we're going to do that wonderful exercise again. This will be a wisdom saving throw. Noxiqual.
Wisdom saving throw. You
I
said.
will drain you one day at a time if I must.
Noxiqual's not making that wisdom save, unfortunately. I just can't seem to roll above like a 13.
Lykar.
I got a 3.
Arlen.
Hiya! Oh, that's actually really good. That's a proficient in wisdom. That's a 22.
Success.
Oh, it's actually higher. It's a 23.
Rub it in. Rub it in.
Okay, you sleep, you recover your spell slots, your exhaustion level goes away. Carderock.
Oh boy. Well, good time to have already used my inspiration and not need it because I just rolled a 21. Or
All right.
17 plus 4.
Success to you as well.
Carderock and I sleep like babies.
No, you don't. I wake you up.
You're confusing him for Robin.
I'm not Robin anymore.
All right. Constitution saves against exhaustion. Noxiqual.
Oh, that's actually 21.
You're a bit
You're
robotic.
breaking up, man.
It sound like 21.
Did you say 21?
I heard natural one or 21, one of the two.
I think
21.
21.
21,
You
yeah.
just typed it in the chat.
21 is close, but not enough.
Oh no!
Oh,
It's getting
man.
harder and harder. And harder.
The DC
That's bullshit.
goes up by one every day.
Oh,
Wait, is he being by one every day? You said.
I feel like that's bullshit, and you know it, Esper. So I'll just take my
Well,
level of exhaustion.
Well, what I'm using is DC 15 plus the number of days you haven't slept. So
Right.
15
Oh.
plus 7.
After Knoxville was just like,
It's like one off,
Yeah.
of course. Oh, by the way, it's only like 6 days now. It's like I got 1 day mixed up.
you're very robotic.
You're totally robotic. You have disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws.
Ooh.
Guys, Noxiqual is not looking good at all. He's probably
Drake
like-
is going
He's
to
probably
go.
like pale and like
Vortex now?
Yeah,
pale and, like,
Drake
weak.
is going to walk over and want to know if you need help carrying, at least carrying your end of the supplies.
I'm sorry. Who? What? Where?
Drake's going to be coming over to Noxiqual and offering any help he can, seeing how bad shape he's in.
I'm only at disadvantage on attack rolls and saving those. No, Noxiqual just kind of snaps at him like, "No, I'm fine. Let's keep moving."
Drake will nod his head and then just get right back to scouting ahead for
Yep.
everybody.
Lykar, make a Constitution save.
This is rough.
Mhm.
We're almost to the Silver Citadel.
18.
18 is not enough. You are at 2 levels of exhaustion.
Okay. I'm even more
So,
crabby.
Yeah. All right, everyone. So I think you're about to start slowing down your pace. You're entering hills two of your characters are so exhausted they're at half speed.
I don't know if this would help, but Arlen. One second, let me find it real fast. So Arlen could use what's the spell called? It's the floating disc to maybe have one of the party members that are slower stand on it so that they can move at the same speed as myself.
Okay, tell me about your disc.
So it's called. Oh boy, I can't find it now. 1 second.
Tinster's floating disc.
Tinster's floating disc. So So I create a circular horizontal plane of force, 3 feet in diameter, 1 inch thick. It floats 3 feet above the ground in an unoccupied space of my choice. The disc remains for the duration, can hold up to 500 pounds. If more weight is placed on it, the spell ends. It is immobile when I am within 20 feet of it. If I move more than 20 feet from it, the disc follows, and it remains 20 feet of me. It can move across uneven terrain, up or down stairs, slopes, and the like, but it cannot cross an elevation change of 10 feet or more. For example, the disc can't move across a 10-foot deep pit, nor could it leave such a pit, but if you move more than 100 feet from it, then the spell ends. So
Okay.
I could actually probably put Lykar and Nox on it. They'd just be very close to each other, on top of each other. They'd have
Sure.
to.
And it sounds like the disc travels at your pace.
Yes, and it
Kind of like magically pulls behind you.
The
Yes,
only
and it-
reason why it stipulates the 100 feet is because it won't cross an obstacle. So if you like cross a 10-foot pit and it can't follow you,
Okay.
you could leave it behind.
Also,
Okay.
also the spell only does last for an hour, and I have it as a ritual, so I'd have to keep recasting it every hour. But I think that would still increase our movement speed with
Yeah.
two spells to
So
carry.
every hour you'd spend like 10
10
minutes
yeah.
to maintain it, basically, to sustain it.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it seems like that would help.
I will do that then if Captain Noxiqual and Lykar are willing.
It's 3 feet in diameter.
It is 3 feet. I technically could create 2 as well in 20 minutes.
Okay. It's not concentration, so
Nope, it's just a duration.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So yeah, 3 feet in diameter. Let me kind of like just
It's about a meter in diameter, so
yeah, 3 feet's about like this. I don't know if you guys can see me.
Yeah,
it should be big enough for like about
Yeah,
two
I
people.
think
They
one
could,
person
like,
could kneel.
one person could definitely get on it. I'm just
Yeah.
wondering if 2 people could. Well, I mean, yeah,
It's so
it'd be
it's
like a
3
really
feet-
big circular chair, and you just might have
Mhm.
to like put your backs together.
That's
it's
what I'm
3 feet in
thinking.
diameter.
Yeah,
Right.
It's
That's
that's
a decent amount of actual space. Yeah.
yeah.
that should be enough for 2, I think.
I'd say so. And it can hold up to
Okay.
500 pounds. So both of them plus their gear together can't be more than 500 pounds.
I forget how exactly the math works out, but that's like a little less than 3 square feet, which is more than you think it is.
We don't need to get into the math of it. I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Very
All
well.
right, so Arlen will offer and then start reading out of his spell book, cast the spell, and offer it to Lykar and Noxiqual since they're feeling kind of tired.
Kind of tired. Yeah.
I hope this will be of help, Captain and Lykar.
Yeah, I'll be fine. I'm just gonna take a little rest here on this disc.
Now, if he's on that, can he attempt to sleep during the day?
Could he?
I don't know.
I don't know if that would work though, because every hour I have to recast it. So
Yeah, I don't think we get enough time to sleep.
Well, the problem is that with the nightmare, people aren't able to sleep.
yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
I have to when she recasts it the next day. That's when I have a chance
Mhm.
to sleep.
To fall asleep. Yeah.
Yeah.
But hey,
so
at least I hope the movement.
I'm sure Noxiqual and Lykar nod off from time to time, but they immediately waken back up with like cold sweats and a horrid sensation running through them.
I'm just happy my floating disc is coming in handy. I picked that spell. I was like, this is gonna be useful at some point.
Did it say that it goes like up inclines and stuff, just not
Yeah,
pits and
it
obstacles?
says that it can go. It does specify.
Okay, good, because
It can go up. Yeah, it can go up slopes as long as the elevation change is not 10 feet or more. Like
that's fine. Okay, because I'm just picturing Noxiqual getting to the foot of the steps, going up the mountainside to the Silver Citadel.
Yeah, it can go up steps. Yeah.
Okay.
Fine.
All right, so let's keep moving along. You all are going around the north end of the lake through the mountains here,
Yeah.
through the hills.
Yeah.
There is an occurrence.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
It's a
I'm not in
good
the mood for an occurrence.
It's a good
Yeah.
occurrence. You know that there's a good occurrence because
Well-
We
we
find a treasure hoard and there's no monsters anywhere and it's lots of gold and free gear.
actually we can't carry gold right now, but it's the
Bag
ability
of
to
holding.
sleep.
Oh no,
We have 2 bags of holding.
yeah, we have 2 bags. Yeah, I also have a bag of holding. So
Oh, we have 3 now because Lykar has one, Drake has one. Now you got one.
yeah.
So ring of 3 wishes.
I'm here. What's your other 2 wishes?
We find a genie. We find a genie, and this genie is like the genie from Aladdin, and he's very kind and helpful, and we can trick him into giving us a free wish, and it's gonna be great.
No, that would only be Robin. None of us can do that.
Robin is the Aladdin of the group, I suppose.
He was. Now he's gonna be like Aladdin if Aladdin was in hell.
He's gonna be like Aladdin if Jafar won. You're Jafar, Captain Noxiqual.
I'll accept that comparison.
It's quite interesting that you all just mentioned Aladdin.
Oh
So
god.
I'm not going to say why.
It's a tiger. It's a tiger. It's Raja.
Correct.
Or Ragja? I don't remember the tiger.
Remind me everyone's special senses. I know Noxiqual has 120 feet
Super
of devil
dark.
sight.
If it was nighttime, I would have used my right cantrip. I don't know if that would help at all.
Special
Okay.
senses?
Yeah.
Well, Card has an impeccable sense of taste when it comes to music.
Uh-huh.
But he does not have dark vision, if that's what you mean.
Okay. Noxiqual,
Yes.
is that Gem of True Seeing something you have to like activate it and it stays on for
Correct.
an hour?
It stays on for 10 minutes, I believe.
10 minutes. Okay. So that wouldn't be on just right this moment. Okay.
No, and that's not something I have. That's
I think I have it. Yeah.
What time of day is it?
At the moment, it's daytime.
Okay.
Everyone make perception checks.
Oh, I do have one other special sense.
Oh, come on.
It wouldn't be up there, but I think I have.
Arlen got an 8.
Nope, never mind. I'm thinking of something else. Perception checks. Let's see. Let me just check the exhaustion.
Arlen is not a very wise person, although he's very good at saving throws when it comes to wisdom. Which is very strange, having a
Are
wizard.
ability checks skill checks?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I rolled a 1, so.
Oh, wait, that's right. Wait, so I would have disadvantage on that as well, right? No,
One
I got,
natural 20.
I got sleep
I
loss.
swear I'm not kidding you. I rolled 2 19s on the two on the 2 20s.
Nice.
So perception, that makes those 22 each. Well, so I have a 22.
Okay.
So I just
Unnatural 20 for Drake.
for Card tonight with a 22.
All right. The
Can I roll
three of
like
you
that?
that got
Okay.
into the 20s, each of you see this. There is a person hiding. The person is about a good distance away from you. We'll say about 80 feet away from you.
80
This
feet
person is hiding behind terrain, rocks, and a tree. The weather is like late winter. It's actually pretty nice weather. It's cold, but it's not bitter, and it's not snowing, and it's not super overcast. It's just a mildly chilly late winter day. So you see this person looking at you, watching you from hiding.
Okay.
And how far away is this person?
About 80 feet.
Do you guys inform the rest of us about this? Or just...
Well, Noxiqual saw it. Who else saw a card?
And Drake.
And Drake.
And Drake. All right. Noxiqual's not slept in at least a week. He sees someone sneaking, watching them. He doesn't like it. I think he's going to be kind of trigger happy potentially. So, anyone else want to take an action before I say what I'm going to do?
I'm trying to figure out what Drake can do within that 80 feet.
Arlen didn't see it, so...
And there's no real shadows or shade for him.
I'm not
to-
saying that I'm going to like murder them straight out, but I don't know.
Drake's just going to ready in action.
Esper, what does this person look like? Humanoid?
Definitely humanoid.
Small, medium,
medium
large?
size,
Medium size.
wearing a peculiar sort of armor that is colored in hues of, it's armor and clothes colored in hues of oranges, browns, yellows, and bits of crimson. Looks elven or fey.
Elven or Fey. All right.
Speaking of Aladdin.
Well, I have an action, but if no one else has an action, I'll just do mine.
No, there's nothing Drake can do at this distance.
Card is going to ready in action
Really?
to stop Nox in case he does something too stupid and just straight attacks the.
That's not a action you can ready. It has to be very specific.
All right.
All right. So when we're talking about like readying actions, that's typically something you do during initiative.
During combat.
Yeah. So during a scene like this, just say what you're doing, even if what you're doing is I'm, my sword's in my hand and I'm watching intently.
Right.
Yeah. Noxiqual is just gonna point a finger and snap at the figure and say, "Freeze." In primordial time or in language. I'm casting Hold Monster, which has a range of 90 feet.
Ah, nice.
Yep.
Okay, you want to cast a spell on the target?
Yeah.
Okay, so everyone roll initiative.
Hey, initiative.
I mean, I assume I get my spell as in the surprise round because that's what's.
Carderock.
There's no surprise. You're looking at him. He's looking at you.
He didn't know I was gonna suddenly initiate combat.
Surprise is literally when you surprise the person. They're unaware of you.
My initiative went from a 20 to a 2.
Or you could trick people. That's also another way to surprise them.
All right.
I'm so sad. I had a 20 and then it rolled over to a 2. So I'm really sad now. Oh, do I need to roll initiative for my skeleton as well?
Who's got the highest?
Do I need to also roll initiative for my skeleton?
Yes.
My skeleton I think has the highest initiative. I got a 22 for my skeleton.
Okay.
Good for him.
that.
Card is sitting on
21, 20, anybody?
I got a 14.
Okay.
10 for Drake.
Card's also sitting on a 10, and I'm pretty sure he has a lower dexterity score than Drake.
Most likely.
Lykar and Nox would have disadvantage on initiative.
I know. I got a 5 initiative.
5.
Oh,
Okay.
I should roll again then.
I mean, I'll roll again, but I rolled a 2
Awesome!
on
I got another 1.
Now, quick question, Esper. I do want to quickly ask this just so that we can confirm it. So, Animate Dead. Although my skeleton has the roll of 22, technically I have to use a bonus action to mentally command it. So I don't know. Okay. I know that I can give it a default command. I know that I can do that right now since it's combat. But when it comes to my turn, would it be all right for me to just give the default command to attack the enemy essentially, so that I don't have to keep doing bonus actions?
Well, it would be a bonus action. Like it gets to your turn and you'd command the skeleton. Then when it gets to his turn, he acts that out. Now you don't always have to keep spending a bonus action. You could say, fight that target, and he'll just keep fighting that guy.
That's what I was
without you having to keep. He'll just keep doing the last thing you told him to do until he can't do it anymore.
That's what I was thinking.
You tell him something different.
Is it?
What did Arlen get on initiative?
I got a 3. Yeah,
3,
that's what I was.
Lykar was your final
1.
1. Okay.
Hey, Arlen doesn't go last.
Okay. So the skeleton.
Oh God.
So we are screwed.
Wait a second.
The skeleton actually is first, and his last command is probably just wait, so he's just by your side. The creature, the person, sees you all get into a something that looks kind of defensive, looks like Noxiqual's maybe going to cast a spell, and he runs. He takes off and he starts running. He's behind some cover just due to the natural terrain, so you don't exactly see him. You would have to go up the hill, like going up the incline and kind of get around the the top, the ridge or whatnot, the crest, we'll say, of the hill.
That's fine.
to
Is
be able
combat
to see him.
is combat over then? If he runs?
Is anybody pursuing him?
How far away is he?
No, Drake won't pursue.
I
More
have
than
no
80
need to
feet
run
because
after
he
him.
ran from 80.
More than 80. Let me check a spell real fast.
I mean, I have spells that could
He's
reach
out of line of
him,
sight too.
but
Well, you don't even know that it was combat. He was just looking at you.
exactly, that's
Yeah.
my point. Like literally, I wasn't even going to start combat. I was going to freeze him in place and then role play through it.
Uh-huh.
But you made us roll initiative, so it was combat. So
No one pursues?
I'm checking a spell real fast.
You wouldn't have line of sight though.
Oh,
Like,
we don't have
literally-
one side either.
no one shot at each other in this. He literally just saw me start to raise my hand and he ran.
Gotcha. Yeah, I guess that I probably wouldn't do anything, especially if I don't have line of sight.
Yeah.
That's fine. Let him go. Let's keep going to the Silver Citadel. Someone needs a nap.
I wanted a new zombie, Noxiqual.
We'll get you a zombie when we get to the Silver Citadel.
I did not mean to do that. Let me put the map back up there.
Oh, actually,
There
this
we go.
So are we continuing our journey towards the
Okay, no one pursues this character, and he or she ran off.
Yeah,
So
it was accurate.
So you all continue along if that's okay with you.
How close are we getting to the Silver Citadel at this point?
Pretty close.
Okay.
I mean, you've got to be within, what is this here? Just like maybe 10 miles, 15 miles.
Okay, Arlen.
You should be there by nightfall.
Okay, Arlen at this point will go up to Noxiqual. Although he is feeling probably pretty bad and maybe doesn't want to just like talk too much right now. I think this is important. So Arlen will go up and say, Captain,
Yes.
I don't know if the Silver Citadel will, well, acknowledge my kind of magic or like the kind of things I do. And I'm going to sort of gesture to my skeleton. Yeah.
They have a school of necromancy.
Yeah, I was
Like
going to say
that.
Lykar is right there. He's going to be like they have all the schools of magic.
Oh,
at the
we've
Silver
encountered their archmage of necromancy multiple times now.
Quick question. I thought that necromancy was illegal unless you were working under the Citadel.
That is correct.
Yeah.
You are, by law, practicing unregulated necromancy.
Exactly. Yeah, so that's sort of what I'm bringing
mean,
to the captain.
Technically, so is Noxiqual, but they aren't making a fuss about him. Anyways, I mean, so
Yeah.
long as you don't rub it in their face, can you just
Right. Like in
Like your
Noxiqual's case, does anyone outside of your party really know that he uses necromancy?
I mean,
Yeah.
crew members on my ship
Yeah.
were
So
there
Silver
might be
Citadel
a,
may not just know.
yeah. It's
right off.
rumors. And like, would you really like concern yourself over barroom gossip if you're a
Right.
archmage?
But that's sort of what I'm bringing up. I'm saying sort of like
Yeah, you've got your skeleton here.
yeah.
Do you have any intention to join the Silver Citadel?
No, I don't. Unfortunately, I'm not a big fan of working with them. Rather practice necromancy in my own way.
Can you have your skeleton fold himself or something and put him in a bag or holding? I don't know.
Can I put my skeleton in my bag of holding, Esper?
Not in my world, you can't. in my house
Yeah,
rules, creatures can't go into bags of holding.
Is it
Just
okay?
objects.
Is it okay if it was dead?
Yes.
Like if it wasn't
Can we-
animated?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
If it was just bones, just dead,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Okay, so
Why
I could.
don't you just kill it?
Yeah, I was about to say because like if I can just reanimate it later.
Yeah. Okay, so you bash the skeleton. and
Is there a way that I could do it like more magically? Like
you tell me, what are you doing?
just sort of like look at it and like sort of wave my hands over it to essentially just like drain the life force from it, and then put its bones into my bag.
The skeleton collapses to the ground. You collect the bones in a bag of holding.
All right.
Osqual just kind of like lowers his sword, disappointed, like he was going to destroy something.
Yeah, actually, Arlen would look up, I guess, while getting the bones and sort of raise an eyebrow.
Just goes back into the sea slowly. It was like maybe like 3 or 4 inches out. All right. Yeah, put it away. Don't flaunt it. Don't throw it in their face and just say you're a wizard. You can cast other spells. I assume. So
Yes,
it's not it's not illegal to be a wizard not part of the Citadel, correct, Esper?
Strictly speaking, no. But if you are like violating laws by way of your magic, then yes.
Well,
Alright,
they won't
Arlen,
know as long as they don't look in my
But
bag.
there's no law that says anyone who
Must.
has any magical talent must be officially registered as a member of the Silver Citadel.
Well,
I was about to say
Arlen-
Lykar's standing right here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Arlen,
Well, Lykar, speaking of Lykar, we're going to get to him in just 1 second here.
Arlen is happy though to sort of hide his necromancy.
All right.
Yeah, I would
He'll,
honestly
he'll-
just
he'll
not
make,
bring it
he'll
up.
make sure that his glove is like on properly as well for his arm.
Okay,
Yep.
you make sure your gloves on properly. I'd like to see how good of time you make through the hills here. Would somebody like to guide the way with a survival check?
Ooh, someone else
Sure.
do it.
No.
Someone who's not exhausted, preferably.
I have a +1. If anyone else has a higher, then they can do it.
Yeah, Drake. Well, I got a +5.
I think Drake's going to be the one. He's
Yep.
not exhausted, and
Ooh, 21.
yay!
Excellent. Drake, you expertly navigate your party through the hills into the actual foothills of the mountains here, and you make the base of the Silver Citadel like an hour before sunset. You know, like the sky's getting dim, shadows are growing long, but it's not nighttime quite yet. The Silver Citadel, you actually can see it a good ways in the distance, just due to its size and due to a special effect that you can see as the light gets dimmer. You can see it even better as the light gets dimmer. So it's a massive structure that's situated up here on this shelf of Mount Sterenval. The surface of the citadel gleams and does in fact appear to be silver. There are gates, there are some concentric walls, and then there is like the great tower proper. Rippling along the tower all the way up to the top is what appears to be iridescent lightning. So you see these ripples kind of go up it, and they coalesce at the top, and that's where they're really most potent. And the top just has like these, you know, arms and sprays and tongues of bolts rippling off of it. It's a fantastic and awe-inducing display.
Noxiqual looks at it. He looks at Lykar, and he's like, "I think you could do better."
I was just going to say, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah. That's
Curious you should mention so.
Yeah.
As
ancestor
you are
made it.
beholding this, there is a rumble in the sky.
Oh, no.
The clouds
fantastic.
darken and coalesce. In Lykar, you see the face of Talvantus in a storm cloud above.
What's up, bro?
I mean, he's like your great-granddaddy or something. like
Something.
that. Great-great-granddaddy.
Lykar. Lykar.
I'm here.
The Silver Mages. The Silver Mages are not to be trusted. They are the enemy.
He has said this to you before.
Well, damn. That's pretty clear.
Do the rest of us hear this as well? Or is
Oh,
it
yeah.
just-
It booms across the sky. The Silver Citadel's like, you know, a mile off at most.
So they probably
That's
hear it
what-
too.
They probably see that too, yeah.
Arlen will make a comment just like with the group and say, and they wonder why I don't like the Silver Citadel.
One of us.
Now, Lykar, you gave your word to Dorian Keldon, Archmage of Divination, that you would bury the hatchet and that the elemental powers and the mages of the Silver Citadel would strike a truce to fight against a common enemy.
Right. That's what I was going to tell
That's what you said.
Vantis is at this pressing time, the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
I would not discount them from your list of enemies. I do not trust them.
I did not say I trusted them, but the war is coming, and a side needs to be chosen.
You have your side. Let us rain down destruction on this citadel.
Can we sleep first?
Yeah, I was going to say, Lykar is just, I mean, he's exhausted, so he's fumbling, he's searching for words. Oh, great Telvansis, let me at least hear what they have to say.
When the time has come, you will know. And at that time you will behold the face of those who slew us, those who hunted us down and butchered us. Vengeance shall be ours.
Yes. Many of us are gone. I am one of the last few of the Telvantis. But we may need their help. Think of it maybe even as possibly using them as a tool.
They would have you used as the tool. You are the mortal form. It is you who can walk and exist in this world. You will lead.
I will listen to what they have to say, and then I will make my final decision. But I know my bloodline, and I will not abandon it readily, so.
I have heard your words. Do not disappoint me.
You have helped us in dire situations, and I would not forget that.
So the storm cloud breaks up, it dissipates. As he said, you're the actual mortal being. You are of this world, so you're the one who gets to exist here. He can come at times, but he's not a humanoid. But he has appeared before, manifested at moments to deliver strokes of elemental power, and it seems that he is willing and able to do so again, particularly now that you're here at the threshold of what he calls the betrayers. Interestingly, they call you and Telvantis the betrayers as well.
It's all a matter of who writes the history books.
Right.
And they did write the history
They
books.
did write the history books, exactly.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I can see because, like I said, I made that backstory about my grandfather at the last minute helping the Mer Queen, and which was probably a whoopsie on his part. But
was it a whoopsie?
Well,
maybe it wasn't.
So
yeah, there's still a few mysteries to be unraveled about Mercurio, Telvantis, and Amarantha the Mer Queen, and we're getting into that right now. So you all come to the base of Mount Starenval.
If I may, this is important. I put a hand on Lykar's shoulder. I say, whatever you decide, know that myself and the Stormbringers will back you.
Well, it's a big decision to make. You don't want to piss off the Silver Citadel guys, and you don't want to piss off this big, huge Titan dude.
I understand that, but if you feel that you must, I would rather stand with you, even if it means our destruction against the Silver Citadel, than turn on you and betray you.
Well, let's go see what they have to say.
Indeed.
All right, so you are arriving here, what is this, 1 or 2 mere days before the High Council begins. It's nearly nightfall, but the sun has not quite set yet. You're at the base of Mount Starenval.
I'm looking forward to sleep in a bed.
Hopefully.
Maybe.
And
we can't do anything about that. Sorry.
Well, about that, no. Literally, you are looking on 2 miles of stairs carved into the side of the mountain.
2 miles of stairs. How many dimension doors is that? Let's see.
10.
Remember, we can do 1,000 feet. With
I also have Dimension
Yeah.
Door. So,
Well, you've also got the Tinser's floating disc.
yeah.
So there's
But
that.
we can each take one person with us. I know
Yeah.
Bardigans has
Four
Dimension
of,
Door as
four of
well.
us has Dimension Door.
They can Shadow Step. I feel like there's a way that we can do this because the miles of steps or whatever are probably winding back and forth, I assume. Not
They
straight.
don't do much winding, in fact.
They just go straight in a line.
Not straight in a line, but it doesn't wind a great deal. Clearly,
feel like-
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I feel like though there's still length lost over like the travel. If we Dimension Door directly to a point that we can see,
Mhm.
like we probably save distance.
Yeah. This is a fantastical location. Clearly, this was not crafted by traditional architecture and stoneworkers. But that's all kind of besides the point of Dimension Door. Obviously, covers a lot of distance in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, plus
I
I
will-
can do a distance spell too. Does that
Yeah.
double my spell?
Here's the thing, Drake, you're not exhausted. Me and Lykar, not feeling so hot.
Yeah.
I'm not exhausted either.
Arlen's also not exhausted. Bardigan, how are you feeling?
You're muted.
You're muted.
You're
He has
muted.
no exhaustion. Lykar has
no
2 levels of exhaustion and Nox has 3. That's all.
I feel
Well,
like
those
me
are
and
the only
Lykar should get there quickly rather than taking lots of time and falling asleep halfway there,
Mhm.
having horrible nightmares on the steps.
Mhm.
I can cast Dimension Door 3 times. That's 3,000 feet. Lykar can cast it a bunch of times. I don't know, 3 or 4 times.
I can cast.
Well, plus I can use my sorcerer points to. Plus
To
that's
get
1,000 feet, and I have a distance spell. Would that work on that too?
I think distance spell only works for like attack.
Is that combat only?
I'd have to read the exact wording.
We can find out.
Yep.
But yeah, it does seem like there's a lot of Dimension Doors at people's disposal if you guys want to do that.
Well, my thought was I take Lykar with me on my Dimension Doors, then he
Yeah.
takes me with him on his. Together, we can easily go a couple, like at least a mile, between us with our 1,000 feet Dimension Doors that we both have. Because I can go 3,000 feet. you
Okay.
can
What
go
we need to
another-
look at is the range of Dimension Door, like specifically that
It's
line.
It's 500.
It's 500 feet.
Yeah, but why does mine say 1,000? Is that because of
Uh,
that
yeah.
Nearlother Tep guy?
Yes.
The blessing of
Well, as
him.
long as you guys can make it over 5,000
So yes,
feet, you're going a
distance
mile.
spell. Distance spell doubles the range of the spell.
Yep.
So
Yep.
your 1,000 would be actually 2,000 feet.
And
So
that's
Lykar can go almost a mile with 2 castings of the spell. That's
Welcome
pretty
to
far.
magic.
Yeah. So Lykar,
Right
you
now,
want to rush ahead?
you're at a landing. You're at a landing at the base of the mountain. It has shrubberies and hedges and benches.
That's fine.
You
Hey,
also
you guys.
see
Yeah.
4 veiled guardians at the landing. You've seen them before. They're wrapped up almost like mummies. They're some kind of undead. They're actually more like a skeleton, and they're like these warriors that are crafted by the
Veiled
Silver Citadel.
Guardians or something. Yeah.
Okay.
Veiled guardians, yeah.
Yeah.
Their faces are veiled.
I just walk up to him and say, "My name is Lykar, and I am expected."
Captain Noxiqual and the Stormbringers.
Yeah.
They gesture that you may pass.
We're gonna teleport though, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So Lykar, you and me want to tag team it up to the top and like one
Okay. Yeah.
free
Sure.
go?
Okay. Yeah. See you guys in a few minutes.
Yeah, I'll see you guys at the top. We're real tired.
All right, so Noxiqual and Lykar, you both utilize Dimension Door to get to the top of this great staircase.
Yep.
As you are flinging through the dimensional rift, you see for the second time now a vision that of
not
like
this guy
many
again.
doors opening. And at the end of this like impossible tunnel, you see a person who has a crown. He has a staff, kind of a kingly staff. And the other hand, he has an onyx dagger.
Welcome. Welcome. Why do you treat with devils when I give you better offers?
Like, so we're in this other place and have a chance to talk with him? Because I would just keep going on our dimension door.
You ignore him?
Yeah, I don't really want to get sucked into his realm. I think that's a bad play.
Which guy is this? That Nyarlathotep?
Nyarlathotep.
Yeah.
All right.
I think it's a bad play.
All right.
You talk to him.
You ignore him as best you can, and your mind is in a very not stable state right now.
Yeah, no, that's the thing that the old ones like when you start to go crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like Noxiqual to make a
God dang.
wisdom saving throw against madness.
Oh, great. Well, wisdom saving throw, because I have disadvantage, Esper.
Yes.
I got an 11.
Nox is gonna get to the top of the citadel and just start like eldritch blasting people.
It's okay, I have disadvantage on Eldritch Blast.
When you reach the top of the staircase, Noxiqual is in like this paralyzed, convulsing state, maybe muttering and mumbling things under his breath.
Yeah.
How far up the stairs are we?
We'll
get
say
to
you
the
all
top.
have reached the top.
Yeah.
You both
Oh.
spent spell slots and you went up 2 miles.
Noxiqual just kind of like sinks to the ground and like he's just like convulsing. Yeah.
Is there any?
Yeah, you
Buddy.
specifically, Noxiqual, you're just getting flashes of maddening images.
He's doing his best to hold it together.
Just
It's
just
too
a
much.
question.
Is there any other people? Like,
Yes, there is a landing at the top.
okay,
This landing has an obelisk, which has a number of runes etched into it. There are 4 more of the Veiled Guardians, and there is also a large bronzen bell. And then there is a gate, a massive gate, and like one of those first like concentric ring walls. It's the first of the walls, like the outer wall.
okay. Say a little help.
There is a voice. It's not one of the guardians speaking. There's just a voice that seems to emanate from the obelisk or the air around you. You have come to the Silver Citadel. Speak your name.
I am Lykar Telvantis, and these are my companions, the Stormbringers. We were requested to. Our presence was requested here. I'm sorry, we are not thinking straight. We have been cursed by Amarantha and are unable to sleep.
You are welcome. The gate opens. The Veiled Guardians beckon,
Okay.
allowing you to go through the open gate.
Can I move? Am I still paralyzed? What's up with me?
Noxiqual. You are paralyzed, though about a minute has passed or so since you came out of the dimension door.
Yeah.
You're just in a state of like mental
Catatonia.
You are in the mental madness land at the moment.
I'm catatonic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, am I able to try and pick him up and fireman carry him or whatever I got to do to get him in there? If the Guardians are just going to be like, yeah, go ahead.
So the Guardians observe you as you are attempting to lug the body of your catatonic companion. One of them goes to the great bronzen bell. It takes the hammer, and it rings a very specific sequence. Gang, 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 gang. You drag Noxiqual through the gate. I assume that's what you were trying to do there.
Yeah, I'm trying to get him up there just like Sam did the Frodo at the base of the Mordor.
Can't
once
go
you-
on, Lykar.
Once you pass through the gate, you notice the temperature changes. It goes from being like a cold mountain climate to being a more pleasant, just a sort of an unnoticeable temperature, just a temperate one. Also, the air feels a little bit richer, not so thin. You see there's like a space, a kind of circular, almost a circular corridor, if you want to say. There are more benches, hedges, statuary. There's another obelisk. There's the next concentric ring wall. There's another gate. There are some veiled guardians that are patrolling, and there are a couple of servants that come to meet with you. They're wearing robes, and their heads are shaven, and they have well-kept beards. They look to be about 30 years old or so. Welcome, Lykar. We heard you stating that you have arrived, and we heard the bell. Is everything okay? Has your companion collapsed?
Oh, yes. We have been cursed by Amarantha herself. We are unable to rest, and it has been many days since we have had a peaceful night's sleep. She haunts our dreams, and my friend here may have overextended himself with the use of magic on our attempt to get up here post-haste.
That is very troubling. The eye of the Mer Queen herself is upon your very party. Then it is worse than we expected. Let us help you. They go
Great.
to aid you, and like literally, they just each take like one of Noxiqual's arms to help him, kind of drag him, catatonic walk him farther in. We expected that you would have more companions with you.
They are following behind. We used the magic to get up here as quick as possible due to our deteriorating conditions, and we're concerned about even making it up the stairs in one piece.
Oh my. He gestures to a couple of the veiled guardians. When the rest of the companions arrive, escort them onwards. We will have him in the House of Healing.
What time of day is it?
Evening.
Yeah,
Then Drake's
the sun
shadow
is the sun
stepping
is setting.
and using everything to get up there, so he should
Like-
be showing up right about now.
F you, Arlen. F you, Cardigan.
I was gonna say Arlen
Cardigan.
probably would have also used Dimension Door to get up there very quickly also.
Excellent.
Your
All right,
dimension door is
so
also-
everyone teleports up the stairs.
Yeah.
You have arrived inside the actual tower of the Silver Citadel. Noxiqual is being taken to what they're calling the House of Healing, which is sort of an infirmary. It's not a shrine. It's not a cleric type thing. It's a place where they actually will practice medicine and alchemy and such. And actually, just a couple minutes after they get you laid down on like a cushioned bed, you start coming to, Noxiqual, like making your way through the madness and regaining your cognition.
If I'm on a bed and I'm super exhausted, would it make sense for me to go to sleep? Because I feel like Noxiqual could just pass out.
Yes, you do. You fall asleep. The last thing you see before you fall asleep is Dorian Keldon, the Archmage of Divination, who has made his way here.
Mhm.
Rest now, Noxiqual. The nightmares cannot harm you here.
Because the nightmares are us. No, just kidding. Yeah.
I suggest we
Pausing
pause
point.
here because
Okay.
everything that happens from here is like important, big stuff.
Yeah.
And it'll be perfect for a full session of that stuff.
Could we assume that all of us then get like the rest and a long rest before we end, or should
Sure.
we? I don't know. Just a
Sure. I mean, if you all just want to just walk in there and oh my god, let me sleep and just kind of collapse and sleep like Nox
I
did,
feel like-
then go for it.
I feel like Arlen and Drake wouldn't necessarily.
Yeah,
be.
Arlen and Drake are fine. That's why I was asking if like
You can rest when the normal rest time comes. I feel like everyone else, like Lykar and me, need to rest.
Drake would just need his 4 hours.
So maybe we'll start with next session, you guys being awake and doing your little observations of the Citadel before the big important stuff.
So at the moment,
Okay.
you've just basically seen like, a grand foyer entrance and, a corridor in the House of Healing and, a few of the mages, just regular mages, and the servants here are talking with you, and Dorian Keldon personally came to meet with you all.
Okay,
we'll start with that. Then next session, anyone whose
Yeah.
character just wants to like collapse right there and just completely pass out, you're more than welcome to.
Noxiqual is at that state. I feel like he had the worst luck on rolls of everyone. I failed like every single roll except for my Constitution checks way back in the beginning.
yeah, Arlen and Card actually probably got the best rolls.
Yeah, Nox was like half dead.
Yeah, I think the most that I had to stay
The
away
problem
from
is the DC is like 22. I can't make that on like I make that on a 19 or a 20.
Just roll a nice-
What's your wisdom save?
+3.
+3.
Yeah.
Woo! Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god! I thought warlocks had proficiency. Oh,
They do.
your wisdom's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Like I do have proficiency in it. I just don't have good wisdom.
Yeah.
All right.
I
Well,
was
no wonder
10.
you're getting involved with devils and stuff. You ain't got no wisdom. All right.
Yeah.
That's always been the flaw of the character, the secret flaw that I don't tell anyone about.
Yeah.
But we knew about it.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. I think this is a good place to pause things.
Sounds good.
Thank you all. So next session might be Dennis's last session,
Yes.
at least for a
For
while.
the foreseeable future.
For foreseeable future.
Yeah, work
So-
issues are encroaching.
Yeah, so we'll see what becomes of all that. But at the moment, our plan is to just keep going because we like the story so much.
But I
Yep.
think that there's a good opportunity next session. A lot of Lykar's plot is in this place that we are.
There's a lot. Oh my gosh. I've got a lot of notes, but I've already said too much. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for playing. Thank you, everyone, for watching, and we'll see you
Thank
on
you
the next
for running,
episode.
Esper.
Yeah, awesome again.
Esper, and night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Have a good night, everyone.
See you on the next.